Hey now. How everybody? Oh wait, no, it's Friday. I can't say hey now. Hey Friday, everybody. This is a very important stream. I know a lot of people were sitting around waiting with bated breath to find out what was going to go on today. I had some very sad news. As you can hear, Adam is playing the harmonica, very sad to mark the occasion. It's been a good run, everyone. We've been doing this for a long time now. I feel like we've all felt like some things just seem like they're never going to end, but like all great things in life, there's always an end that's coming. And I feel like it is the end of an era. And so with great sadness, I must say, it is in fact over. The month of October is in fact over, and Halloween has passed. And now we must look forward to the future of November and the election that is just around the corner, everybody. Thanksgiving and the election. Will America fall into the evil, authoritarian, fascist clutches of Donald Trump, or will it become the communist hellhole of the Kamala Harris campaign? Let's find out, everybody.
All right. Nice. Now that we got that out of the way.
Beautiful.
It's like, what is the doomsday clock? How many minutes to midnight? How many minutes to midnight do we have now?
5 minutes to midnight, yes.
We're moving the doomsday clock officially 30 seconds closer to midnight. It is now 10 seconds from midnight. For those of you who don't know, the doomsday clock is this big thing that they keep to tell us how close we are to nuclear Armageddon. So
people probably know about it because of like Watchmen. The Watchmen comic, they had the little clock.
Hopefully the election does not end in nuclear Armageddon. Let's hope.
Yes. No, it's funny. Like, apparently there's all these like drama streams talking about me and Adam fighting as if we've never had a fight on this stream.
I know.
Before.
Look, we've decided we're breaking up once a month now, guys. So you get ready. Get ready when the end of the month comes around.
Exactly. That's a good strategy. At the end of every month, we should have like a big blow up. Like, oh my god, are they gonna come back? Right? Just good for the viewership.
I know.
So
it's great.
But I guess the only thing to say about the other stream, because I don't really want to. I don't even think it's really worth getting into that much. The only thing I would say is that obviously, and this is just from like what people were commenting and stuff. So Adam interpreted the guest associating Adam or trying to get Adam to defend like Nazism, which is obviously crazy if that was the case. And that's sort of, Adam's interpretation of it. I didn't perceive that was happening with the guest. If I had perceived that, then obviously I would have acted differently and I would have defended Adam. So we obviously both had different perceptions of the interaction. And you know what? The wonderful thing about reality and about friendship is that sometimes two people can perceive the same thing differently. And we could say, okay, it's totally fine.
Yes.
We can all live in peace and harmony.
We can get past it. Yes. We're all about forgiveness.
We are. That's right. You know who's not about forgiveness? Joe Biden. I don't know if you've been saying this. Maybe we'll talk about this after we watch this clip.
Oh, I know.
Does it not seem like Joe Biden is intentionally trying to sabotage Harris in the last week of the election or something?
You think the big gaffe? So Joe Biden did some sort of phone call where he called all of Trump supporters garbage. Now you think, I mean, it's common knowledge. People have come to accept that Hillary Clinton lost the 2016 election because of the deplorables comment.
In part, yeah. I don't know, fully, but yeah.
They thought the deplorables comment was some sort of tipping point. And I mean, so she basically called all the Trump supporters deplorables, and now Joe Biden, like on the eve of the election, is going to come out and call them all garbage. I mean, what?
Right.
What's going on there, Sitch? Is that a good strategy?
No, it's a bad strategy, and it's obvious that the Trump campaign is like super excited for it. They were like waiting for this comment because as soon as it came out, I don't know if you saw, like for Halloween, I thought it was super cringe.
Oh, no, I thought it was amazing. What are you talking about?
No. So there was something I thought was like good, and then there's something I thought was cringe. The good twist was that Trump, whether it was his idea or someone's idea, was pretty genius. Was he put on like a little safety vest and drove around a garbage truck Um, and he was like, haha, I'm the garbage man. Then he went on stage and he had the little garbage man outfit on, and everyone was cheering and thought it was great. That was like really good publicity. Wonderful. Then the thing that was cringe afterwards is that Donald Jr. and a bunch of other people were like dressing up in garbage bags for Halloween, which I just thought was like
Oh, well, I didn't see
super
that.
cringe. But no, so you have you have Biden come out, he makes the garbage comment. The Trump campaign runs wild with it, and then I don't know if you saw, then you had like this picture of Joe Biden like biting a child's foot.
No, I didn't. What?
You haven't seen this
What?
picture? How did you not see this picture? Wait, let me
Biting
see
a
if I got it.
biting a child's foot. Doesn't that kind of lean into the QAnon thing a bit? Like a
Okay,
bit heavy?
yeah, he's yeah, exactly. Joe Biden had too many vaccines and now he's become like a zombie.
Oh,
Okay. Here, I'll send this
he's
to you.
eating young children.
He's eating a young child, yes. Okay, I'll send this to you so you can bring this up in case you haven't seen it. There's this picture of this kid at a Halloween. There's like the Halloween party at the White House, and he's dressed up like a turkey or a chicken or something.
Oh my God.
And Joe Biden's like biting, like obviously he's just playing around, but it looks like he's like eating the child, and it's like, what the fuck are you doing? You're the president, you know. So I was gonna take a picture of you like trying to eat a child. It looks so terrible. What the fuck is going on?
That's a little too close to this kid's junk. I mean, what are you doing? What are
Well,
you
it's a
doing?
leg. It's the leg. It's the leg. But it's just it's
That it's the
weird.
upper thigh.
It's weird.
Stay away. Look, Joe Biden is trying to circumcise a child here with his mouth.
No, Biden, no, don't do it. Don't do it. You're not a rabbi.
This is not good. This is not good. Okay. Okay. Go Democrats.
There was a story. It was funny because there was a story before all this where there was like a rumor that Biden wanted to go do something to campaign for Harris in this last week, and the Harris campaign was like, sus. They're like, maybe not, Joe. Maybe you shouldn't be campaigning. And there was some kind of like dispute. And then you have the garbage comment. Then you have the Joe Biden, the child comment. And then you have this. I just sent you something
Is it
else.
deliberate? Because I mean, obviously someone is thinking, okay, this is deliberate. He's fucking up on purpose.
Well, that's the question. I don't know. Who knows, right? With Joe, it's like, is it deliberate or is he just, you know, his faculties are floundering as he gets older and older, and he, you know, becomes more and more mummified. So it's unclear to me whether it's intentional or just he's just dumb and getting older. So when I sent you this, there's a clip here. This is, I think, even the latest clip. So
okay, cool. I'll bring it up.
I'm gonna bring this up real quick. It's like a short 5-second thing here.
Let's do it. Oh wait, I guess I gotta take 3, 2, 1, go.
We cannot win this re-election.
Oh, there's no.
Excuse me. We can only re-elect Donald Trump.
It's
we
one of the.
cannot
Well, no,
win this re-election. Excuse me. We can only re-elect Donald Trump. We cannot.
The audience heard it. You'll have to tell me what he said.
He said, we cannot. Okay, anyway, if you didn't hear it, Joe Biden said, we cannot win this re-election. Then he says, I mean, we can only re-elect Donald Trump.
Oh my God, no. No.
It's like, I know. It's like, it's insane. It's
No.
insane. It's like, what's happening here? What's happening? It's Joe attention. So listen, this is obviously,
Where's
this
his
is the
MAGA hat?
week. This is the week. Yeah, where's the MAGA hat? This is the week of, you know, duos fighting, right? And breaking up.
Oh,
So you have,
is that what's going on?
that's what's going on here. Obviously, that's what's going on here. So it's in the air. Something is in the air. Some energy is in the universe right now.
Just promise me, Sitch, that you won't bite a child's penis off if we break up.
I mean, can I put on the
Look,
Adam mask first?
that's an easy promise to make.
Okay, Adam, I promise. I won't bite off a child's penis.
Good. We're safe.
Okay. All right. Anyway, so let's watch this other, you know, comedy duo fight here. This is a pretty interesting fight on the Hill.
This is like the new one, though. Look, we were hoping, you know, and the Hill was like, we've got a big suit to fill here, right? We lost Brianna Joy Gray.
Right.
we've got a big personality. There's a big empty spot on our channel. Who are we gonna get?
We need crazy argumentative leftists, please.
They're like, oh, we have Anna Kasparian. Oh, wait, she figured it out. Shit. We need to. Where are we gonna go now?
Yeah, exactly. Far too reasonable, far too sane and based.
Yeah, exactly. We need to let's dial back. Who else do we have here?
Right. Okay.
You ready?
Yep.
What do you think of this opening look? What's up with this look here?
It screams power.
It does?
Yes.
Oh yeah, it kind of does.
It does.
It seems it looks like someone missed their therapy appointment to me.
Wow, you're such a asshole.
Why?
Terrible.
Oh. She does. See that head shake from the very beginning. She like read ahead on the teleprompter and she's like, motherfucker.
And kicked off a guest after he told Mehdi Hassan, quote, I hope your beeper doesn't go off, while discussing the rhetoric spread at former President Donald Trump's Madison Square Garden rally. Let's watch.
Well, I mean, he didn't say, I hope your beeper goes off at least, right? I mean.
Right. There you go.
If you don't want to be called Nazis, stop doing.
You're called an anti-Semite more than anyone else at this table.
Yeah.
And people will sit there and no, by me, I never called you an anti-Semite. I mean, I'm not sitting here saying
I'm a supporter of the Palestinians. I'm used to it.
Yeah, I hope your beeper doesn't go off. The thing is that
you just say I should die.
You should not.
No,
I just say I should be killed.
No, I did not say that. No, I did not say that.
Hold on.
Did your guest just say I should be killed on live TV?
I said I hope you.
Guys, let me just stop.
I said I hope you aren't killed. Come on, get it right, buddy. What are you talking about?
It doesn't go off. Okay, that was.
Did you not hear me? Look, your beeper is obviously a plot to kill you, but I hope it doesn't work. Get it straight.
Well, actually, you know what? Let's be a little, bad faith here. Maybe he just like doesn't want it to go off.
Well, he's there.
Right? Yeah.
I hope your beeper doesn't go off. ... during this segment.
Yes. Let me. I'm glad I'm across from the table from you, not sitting next to you.
Oh shit.
I said you hope my beeper doesn't go off.
Because you sound a big supporter
of the Palestinians.
Of Hamas.
Guys, let me stop.
Palestinian.
Are you? Am I what?
No, of course I'm not.
Look, now he's fishing. He's totally fishing.
I know.
Are you in support of Hamas, please? Tell me you are. Thank you.
I know. Please. Yeah.
I apologize.
Are you a racist, violent person inciting violence against
Ryan? That's disgusting. That is completely.
I apologize.
That
Good
is
job, CNN.
completely
Let's have first block.
I've so been here before. Like you can see the like blinking on the right eye, like his nervous system is like kicking in, going, "Oh shit!"
Well,
I'm being attacked here.
Right. Well, it's just funny because Mehdi Hassan's all like, "Thank you, CNN, for this racial aggression against me."
Oh, I know. I do. I feel bad for this guy, obviously, but it happens. It happens. It just he has a look on his face like I just was in a car accident, like a huge car accident.
Right.
Which basically it was. He sensed immediately this is like a life-changing event that just took place.
Mm-hmm.
Watch this when he looks back at the host and he like blinks in his right eye. Watch it.
You're correct, because obviously he wasn't able to articulate the defense that everyone was able to articulate after the fact.
Right. Which is why you got to get your defense
headspace.
Yeah, you got to get your defense ahead of time.
Right. Which is, how is it okay for you to call Trump supporters Nazis, and then, for me to call you like a Hamas person or something?
Right.
No, of course I'm not.
I apologize.
Are you a racist, violent person inciting violence against me?
Ryan. That's disgusting. That is completely.
Did you see the fluttering eye? I was trying to catch it, but I couldn't.
Completely.
No, I apologize.
Good job, CNN. Let's have first block say the Muslim guy should be blown up.
I apologize.
On TV.
Don't say then I apologize. You
look, and she's such a bitch. Oh God, she's such a bitch.
Mm-hmm.
Like she doesn't give it. Don't apologize here, okay? We have the stocks in the back.
It is an interesting interaction that. I mean, obviously, it's a joke, but it's obviously there is a prejudicial component to it, a racial component to it, or a racist component to it about the Hamas joke. And it's interesting that it gets picked up on instantly by everyone there, and it's all like, oh my God, you're not allowed to do this. but then the calling of he didn't, and this was interesting. He didn't. It's not like it didn't seem like Mehdi Hasan was just saying that Trump was a Nazi. It sounded like he was saying that Trump supporters overall were Nazis. And
Yeah,
it's interesting
look,
that which also has a very racist component to it because there's something to do with being white. That is just completely ignored and like that's completely acceptable.
yeah, you're comparing them to murderers. Obviously, if you're comparing them to Nazis, right?
Right.
Yeah, it's awful, but yeah, that's societally accepted though. There's no taboo against that.
Right.
He broke the taboo though.
You literally.
I thought you said
accused
Hamas.
him-
You didn't think I said Hamas.
Yes,
I
I
said
did.
I supported Palestinian
Yes,
rights.
I did.
Why? Because
Oh my God.
Comment was made by conservative pundit Ryan Girdusky, who is the founder of the 1776 Project PAC. Hassan is a progressive pundit who is Muslim and of Indian descent. The host, Abby Phillips, said this after the segment. Let's watch.
I want to just address what happened in the last segment. And first, I want to apologize to Mehdi Hasan for what was said at this table. It was completely unacceptable. When we get this discussion started, you'll see that Ryan is not at the table. There is a line.
This is interesting because they use the apology as an admission of guilt from them. They're like, oh yeah, we're totally guilty because we invited this person on, which does imply that he's guilty.
Of course.
And that was crossed there, and it's not acceptable to me. It's not acceptable to us at this network. We want discussion. We want people who disagree with each other to talk to each other. But when you cross the line of a complete lack of civility, that is not going to happen here on.
Moment of silence for the irony.
Mm-hmm.
Complete lack of civility. I mean, you're allowed to go on CNN and lie about Trump all day long. You're allowed to go on CNN and call all of the Trump supporters Nazis. No blowback at all.
Well, I think
But there's
we
a
have to
lack of
separate-
civility in our
Right.
public discourse.
I think we have to separate calling the candidate a Nazi or a bad name and calling like half the country and the supporters Nazis or a bad name.
Right,
That
but
to me
lying
is
about
like
the
that's
candidate.
that's the far more egregious thing to do.
Well, I
I
think
am
lying
curious-
about the candidate is just as bad.
Well, obviously, if lying about people is really bad, but I'm curious if Drudusky was able to articulate that point in that moment, how if anything would have changed or not.
The clips would have been better. That's,
No, but I'm just
but
like
I
in
think
terms
that's
of
the only thing that
people-
would change.
In terms of people reacting, in terms of the CNN reaction, in terms of, because I feel like Mehdi Hasan and all the guests would have just sat there in stunned silence for like a moment if he had articulated that, like, wait a minute, you just called every, Trump supporter a Nazi. So why is that acceptable?
No, they immediately jumped to, well, that's true. Like his whole argument, Mehdi Hasan's argument was, if you don't want to be called a Nazi, stop saying Nazi rhetoric.
Yes.
Like
yes.
that's his argument. He's like, I'm allowed to call. Look, you're saying Nazi shit. Don't say Nazi
Mhm.
shit. I won't call you a Nazi. Right?
Right.
Don't support Hamas, and I won't call you a terrorist.
On this show.
CNN released a statement that said
This woman's name is Amber Duke. She's super cool. So I looked her up after this.
in part, quote, there is zero room for racism or bigotry at CNN or on our air. We will not allow guests to be demeaned or for the line of civility to be crossed. Ryan Girdusky will not be welcomed back. Reacting on X, Democratic Representative Rashida Tlaib said, quote, CNN has played a central role in normalizing this kind of open anti-Arab, anti-Muslim, and anti-Palestinian hate, and it's sadly totally unsurprising to see such disgusting statements aired so casually on its network now.
Podcaster Matthew Sheffield wrote, he's a full-on racist and radical Christian supremacist who has written for racist activist Richard Spencer. He has been running an operation to block Black and LGBT authors from school curricula. He should have never been on CNN.
Meanwhile, Girdusky defended himself, writing on X, quote, you can stay on CNN if you falsely call every Republican a Nazi and have taken money from Qatar-funded media. Apparently, you can't go on CNN if you make a joke. I'm glad America gets to see what CNN stands for.
Well, this guy, I mean, he clearly is problematic. I mean, he worked for Richard Spencer. He's written.
He
for
never
Richard
worked for Richard Spencer. That's a lie.
Richard Spencer confirmed it.
Listen, so you can hear, you know that she's upset when it's the year 2024 and someone on the left unironically uses the word problematic.
Oh, I know.
Ugh. The emotions.
People
are
were
high.
saying Tom. I didn't notice it, but people were saying Tom was saying problematic in the live stream yesterday. So But it didn't stand out to me.
I didn't remember. But you can listen. People can use the word problematic. I know the left sort of ruined it in like 2016, but I'm just saying in this specific context, like using it in that specific context of like a woke thing, like it's problematic. You're like, oh, really? Jeez.
I love how Amber Duke just completely shuts her down. He never wrote for Richard Spencer. That's a lie.
Yeah.
And she's so triggered. Like, how dare you question my narrative? And she's like, yeah, he's my friend. I asked him personally.
No, he did
Yes.
not. Richard
Fuck you.
Spencer said over a decade ago via tweet.
Ryan Girdusky, when he was 19 years old, was looking for a place to put a blog post. Richard Spencer, who he had no idea who he was at the time, it was well before he was a open white supremacist.
Why did Richard Spencer write? I confirm. It was.
He didn't confirm that he worked for him. He confirmed that he published a piece that he wrote. That was it.
So publishing a piece does not. Okay.
He wasn't paid for it. He never worked for him.
We don't know for sure. You're making an assumption.
I do know for sure. I asked Ryan myself. He's a friend of mine.
Well, then we should have him on, and we should ask him.
We should. I actually suggested we get him on today.
Regardless, I mean, I find it interesting that
it's fine. So this is like the classic, Heidian. The mind is you've already made up your mind about something, and as you're getting new information, instead of changing your mind, you just keep trying to justify the original position.
Yeah,
totally. Like try to make it fit the narrative.
Totally. So. You're lying. You're making shit up. You don't know any of this. You're assuming.
I actually went and I found those two articles because I was curious. They never actually talk about what was the content of the article at all.
Oh no. Is it a great replacement? Please tell me it's not.
So Ryan wrote this whole article about the great. No, I'm just kidding. He did not. No, not at all. So yeah, no. In the articles themselves, I mean, they weren't like racist or white nationalist or anything like that. So, and they were just like these like two blog posts. One was about the fact that there was some vigil or a bunch of publicity for like gay teens that had committed suicide or something. And the article was about how, while that's fine to talk about, why is there not, no one's talking about like the massive increase in suicides among like white males overall or something.
Right.
And then the second article was about, he was just complaining that like some conservative, I forget who it was Paul Ryan or something. Some conservatives were not really conservative and they were not really in favor of like cutting, the size of government. So none of this. So even though it was the website was called Alternative Right. So there's your alt-right. But if he's 19, doesn't know who Richard Spencer is, which I don't think most people knew who Richard Spencer was back in those days, so long ago. And he just has these two blog posts that are not racist, have nothing to do with white nationalism or anything, and they're on the website. I think it's totally fair pass. I think it is totally dishonest to sort of label him as a racist because of those actions.
Yeah, Richard Spencer was the one that came up with the term alt-right, according to him. I think he says he dubbed that term, and it came from his website or something like that. So.
Well, as part of that, it's interesting. Part of him using that term alt-right was to smuggle in white nationalism or like racist identity politics into the conversation.
Yeah,
that was the point of it. Yeah.
Didn't somebody record him doing some tirade on the Jews, and that kind of got him in big trouble?
Yeah, because
like,
he
mask off.
Yeah, well, Richard Spencer, he's doing like a weird thing now, so I don't know what's up with him now. But back in the day, he was pretty open about the white nationalism in like 2015, 2016, but he'd always present it in like a very calm, I'm a very calm, sophisticated white nationalist. I'm not an angry, shouting KKK guy in front of a burning cross. He had the whole conversation with Sargon, like where Sargon was debating against white nationalism on the Andy Worski podcast and all these other stuff. And then there was this leaked audio that came out where Richard Spencer was like screaming about how, like, I think it was like Jews and minorities should look up at white people and thank them for like the civilization that they built.
Wow.
So as like everyone knew he was racist, but it like destroyed the whole, like vibe of him trying to be like, well, I'm like a new type of racism. I'm like the calm racism, I'm the nice racism.
Oops.
Yeah.
At your you're debating. I mean, he still wrote for Richard Spencer. It was published on Richard Spencer's site. You know,
this was in like 2010. Nomi.
Richard Spencer.
Did you know who Richard Spencer was in 2010?
Richard Spencer has been around for a lot. I'm old. I'm 40, okay? So I do know Richard Spencer. He's been around. We've been talking about him for over 10 years at this point. But this is a guy, you know, we're getting caught up on these.
Well, to be fair, that was, she said 2010, so that'd be 14 years ago, not 10 years ago. So.
It's funny that she wants to give him no charity at all. She's like, look, he didn't know who Richard Spencer was at the time. Well, that doesn't matter. He should have been able to see the future.
Right. Well, her perception is, she's like, okay, this guy made this comment, this racist joke comment. So therefore, he's obviously racist. So therefore, if he wrote something for Richard Spencer, that confirms that he's racist. That's like the way her mental process is going.
Right. And she's taking that piece of evidence away from her continually, right, again and again and again. And she hates it. She's like a dog with a bone. No.
These details and minutia, and I understand that's a great way to defend this, but the problem is—
Wait a minute. Listen to what she just said.
He's been around.
Minutia.
We've been talking about him for over 10 years at this point. But this is a guy, you know, we're getting caught up on these details and minutia, and I understand.
We're getting caught up on the facts. Okay, stop it. Stop getting caught up on what is real.
Minutia are details that don't matter. Come on. Come on.
That's a great way to defend this. But the problem is this man has an agenda. He's specifically gone after Black and brown communities, LGBTQ groups. The 1776 Project has been called out by the Southern Poverty Law Center.
They're very accurate.
Well, I would say they're pretty nonpartisan.
No, they're not.
What?
Well, and they actually inspired a potential bombing attack on a Christian nonprofit.
Okay, well, they labeled it a suit and tie version of white supremacists of old, a kind of professional racist in khakis. This is the 1776 group and then, of course, Gudersky, who is far right. And that is why he was pushed off the panel, because of the comments that he said, and, you know, completely being tone deaf against Mehdi Hasan. Now, you can have your feelings and your debates with Mehdi Hasan, but he is not insulting the man. And I found this apprehensible. I mean, there's a place for free speech, but to have somebody on air who's peddling conspiracy theories, insults, and is openly racist, I think there's a line.
The 1776 PAC is aimed at getting good history teaching in schools and preventing children from being indoctrinated with radical gender ideology. It's not anti-Black, it's not anti-Hispanic. The Southern Poverty Law Center is far from a nonpartisan source. And if we're going to talk about people who are supposedly problematic, let's dive a little bit into Mehdi Hasan's history. He had to apologize for saying that non-Muslims are cattle, for comparing gay people to pedophiles. He is funded by Qatar, which is a known backer of terror.
He's funded by Zateo, which is an independent media publication based off of crowdsourcing.
He certainly—
Well, that is the comparing people, the non-Muslim people, to cattle. I mean, that is the perfect comparison, because if you're like, okay, well, this guy wrote a blog post for Richard Spencer who he didn't know, and the blog post itself wasn't even anything, you know, bad in it.
Incendiary.
Right. Yeah. You know, in 2014, you know, or 2010, I'm sorry. So 14 years ago, and you have Mehdi Hasan, who I think it was like 14 or 20 years ago in that time scale, you know, made these comments about non-Muslims being cattle or whatever, and being very anti-gay. I mean, how is that? That's significantly worse than anything Ryan did.
Of course. Yeah. He can do anything, though. He's a progressive. He can do no wrong.
Right. You know, I'm trying to find, because people kept pointing to the 17. It's so annoying. Like, there'll be a narrative that forms, and someone will say like, oh, this person, and this is like the way all political narratives form on both the left and the right. Like, someone will say like, oh, this person that my team doesn't like I'm going to throw this accusation at them. And so there's accusation is thrown by Ryan Girdusky that the 1776 Project is like trying to stamp out Black authors or something from school. And I'm like, oh, wow, that's an incendiary accusation. Okay. Like I'm going through Twitter and I'm looking on articles, like waiting for someone to provide some sort of receipt for that, some sort of information, something to back that up. Right. Yeah. What is that in reference to? And it's just, there's just nothing. I don't see anyone providing anything. It's just accusation, accusation, accusation.
Yeah. It continually gets going on just on the rumor, but there's never any there.
Right. I'm assuming based on just the name, the 1776 Project, that this is in reference to the 1619 Project. So it's like an anti-1619 project, which you can be anti-critical race theory, obviously, and all Americans should be anti-critical race theory. And if you think that that makes you anti-black, then you either don't know what critical race theory is, you don't know what the 1619 Project is, or you're just being dishonest or delusional.
Mm-hmm.
He worked for Al Jazeera for a long time, which was on the Qatari payroll. And how is he not insulting Ryan by suggesting that everyone who attended that Madison Square Garden rally was a Nazi?
I'm sorry,
So
you're all over the
give, but he
place
can't
here.
take.
Like, I just heard a bunch of different claims, and it's wild to me. I mean, we know what Qatar does. We know what Al Jazeera is. I just want to know, do you defend what he said on that panel? Because at the end of the day, this is a story about Ryan Gadursky, not about Mehdi Hassan. It's about Ryan Gadursky's comments and why he was put off the panel. Do you defend that?
I think the question.
Do you defend the Nazi? Please defend the Nazi. Do it, Amber, please.
There you go.
Please defend the Nazi for me. She is. Look, she's playing defend the Nazi.
She is. That's a good game. Defend the Nazi.
Yeah. That's what they want. That's what they want you to do.
Mm-hmm.
Look, you're a conservative. He's a Nazi. Defend him.
Then do you defend what Mehdi Hassan said, saying that
he wasn't kicked off the panel? You're okay.
And she pulls out the defend the terrorist. Look at this. It's a who can defend the more insidious person.
It's funny because you can see that she's just in total like reaction mode, because then her response to that is, well, Mehdi wasn't kicked off the panel. It's like, well, what does that? That has nothing to do with anything.
Yeah, he's still he's still a terrorist.
Yeah, like, what are you talking about?
I could go. Can I pull up some of your writing from 10 years ago? Are you going to defend that? We're talking about Ryan.
Oh my God! And now she actually makes Amber's argument. She's like, "Look, writing from 10 years ago doesn't matter." Mm-hmm. Well, you just said it did. What is? Hold on.
She's like, in Dragon Ball Z, there's this thing called Ultra Instinct, which is like when the main character has reached a level where his body is so attuned to combat that it can just reflexively adapt to everything and automatically like counter.
That sounds great.
Yes, and so the lady here on the left, we need to think of a name for this kind of activity. It's like the inverse of Ultra Instinct. Everything she's doing is on an instinctual level, but it's bad. Like, it's all failing. These are all like bad attacks,
right?
Bad like defenses. Like, she just react reflexively and reactively, has
Makes
this reaction to everything
argument.
she's saying, and just trips over herself and just gives bad defenses for everything.
Right. No, it's great. I hope she lasts a long time.
Ultra blunder.
I told Sitch, I tried to get, I think it's Nomiki is her name. I tried to get her on the show years ago. She had like a small YouTube channel. I think I reached out to her via email, but she never responded. But I was like, oh, this would be an interesting guest.
You saw a gem there, right?
I did. Yeah, I did.
Gadursky right now. You've made Nazi comments in the past. I'm not going to bring that up.
I haven't.
I mean, Ross Story brought it up.
Look, she's so good at this. Like, it doesn't even trigger. I haven't brought Nazi comments up. Come on, get real.
Yeah, the lady on the right here. I don't know their names. There's probably no.
She's good. Amber Duke.
Amber Duke. Andrew Duke is like in Ultra Instinct mode.
She is
just like batting away everything, like bam, 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 bam.
She's like, you've made Nazi comments. Why won't you defend the Nazi?
And Nomiki's in like ultra trip mode.
She
ultra rake step mode. I
heard Amber Duke on a podcast saying, yeah, my co-host labeled me a Nazi on the show. It's like kind of par for the course.
It's terrible.
It's so sad. One day conservatives will be as respected in society as gay people are now. That will be good.
I'm just asking you, Amber.
Look at this.
What's that?
JMac, our surrogate father, for $100. Thank you so much. Says, my parents work with the 1776 Foundation. Oh my God. JMac, our surrogate father, is a Nazi. I don't know. And he's been giving us money. That makes us Nazis, Adam.
Wow.
Oh,
that won't be clipped and on the internet later.
Jay says, I've been to a few of their functions. They just believe in enshrining constitutional principles in teaching and in the public. They even hand out mini constitutions at their functions. Pretty bog standard conservatism. Well, we all know that by today's standards, bog standard conservatism is Nazism.
Yeah, that's the game everyone's playing. So terrible.
So we have some good names in the chat. We have Ultra Riri. We have Ultra Elephant, the Progressive Instinct instead of Ultra Instinct, Progressive Instinct. These are pretty good.
Look at that.
I like it. I like Ultra Riri, or Ultra Re.
I do like the Riri.
Yeah.
We're talking about one thing, and then you jump to something else. I don't make this personal about you. You constantly.
Oh my God! You literally just called her a Nazi. What the fuck?
I know.
You literally 5 seconds ago said you've made Nazi comments in the past. How is that not making it personal? I don't make it personal. Why are you attacking me?
It's crazy. This is like the total elephant rampage flailing in real time.
It's great. I love it.
Constantly put the burden on me. I'm asking you about this man, Ryan, and whether or not you defend him.
I personally wouldn't have said the comment, but I think it's a double standard to say that Mehdi Hassan is allowed to call people Nazis and Ryan Girdusky is not allowed to make a joke.
No one said that, Amber. You're literally pulling quotes out of nowhere. We're talking about the CNN panel. We are talking about the CNN panel in which Ryan was kicked off. Do you defend him?
I just said that I wouldn't have made the joke.
Do you defend him?
Yeah, he's my friend, and I will absolutely defend him.
Okay, so do you think it was okay that he said those things?
I just said I wouldn't have said it.
Oh my God, open your fucking ears. That's the hardest thing, because when you're triggered, you're like thinking about the next thing you're gonna say, and you're totally not listening to what the other person is saying.
Well, it's like when you're in a fight or flight mode,
totally.
Your pupils narrow, your eyesight like narrows, so you have like a restricted
focus,
field of vision, and a restricted focus, but that like applies to all of your senses.
It does.
You're saying, it's just like completely, you can't hear correctly or perceive correctly.
It's like cognitive load. I love to talk about the load.
I know you love talking about loads.
The cognitive load.
Yes.
But it's a good way. I always conceptualize it as like the Terminator display screen, right?
Yes.
You know how the things would come up on the side? Well, instead of seeing what's in front of you, all of these counter arguments start populating the screen. It's like this argument, this argument, this argument. Pretty soon, like you've got no field of vision. You're just, what am I going to say next? What's my next counter argument here?
There you go.
You got
like
35 different ones to choose from, right?
Right.
You're like, oh God, that argument's on her side. Shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're just pulling randomly at that point.
Mm-hmm. I wouldn't have called Republicans Nazis.
But do you call him out for saying that? There's a difference between something you have said.
I'll defend my friend.
Okay, I'll defend your friend.
I'm loyal.
What's the line? Where's the line?
Not that joke when he was being called a Nazi to his face.
He wasn't being called a Nazi.
It's in the.
Oh my God, he was being called a Nazi to his face.
Clip. We just watched it.
All right, we'll agree to disagree on this one. But at the end of the day, when we're talking about one comment, we can't.
Hold on, was that you, Sitch, or her?
It's so bad. That was me.
Oh, it was? I thought she said, oh my God.
It's in the clip. We just watched it.
All right, we'll agree to disagree on this one. But at the end of the day, when we're talking about one comment, we can't just jump all over the place. Like, we're trying to.
How are we jumping all over the place? You said that Ryan Girdusky is problematic. I countered that Mehdi Hassan has a problematic history as well. You said that Ryan is not allowed to make that joke because it was insulting.
I didn't say he wasn't allowed to do anything.
Well, you said he insulted.
She had like a transcript of their conversation. She's like looking
down. This is
the
shit you do, Sitch. This is like.
I know. No, it's a very powerful.
This is totally effective. Yeah, exactly. Look, and she knew. She's like, oh my God, if she gets in that list, I'm going to be dead. Let me interrupt.
Right.
I said there's a line in media. No, don't put words in my mouth. There is a tape. I said there's a line in media, right? Mm-hmm. And they crossed the line, and that's why he was kicked off.
But why did Mehdi Hassan not cross
standards? Because he didn't cross the line and standards in that room. This is a guy who has white supremacist backing.
No, he does not have white supremacist backing.
So Richard Spencer, do you think that Richard Spencer?
We already went over that.
No, I didn't.
It's so good. It's so good.
This might be the most extreme and least effective form of like flailing about and throwing every possible thing you can at someone that I've ever seen. I've
Oh,
never seen
yeah.
it be like this bad.
Yeah, it's definitely someone's outmatched here. Someone's outclassed in every possible way. Yeah, it's pretty funny. I like how she does she's like picking the sleep out of her eye as we
Right.
already went over this, bitch.
I know.
And ask you,
Do I think Richard Spencer is a white supremacist? Yes. Ryan Girdusky is not backed by Richard Spencer.
he wrote for him.
Okay, let's go over it again. When Ryan Girdusky was 19 years old and had no idea who Richard Spencer was.
So he found his blog and just accidentally wrote for somebody
Richard
to know about?
Spencer approached him and offered to publish the piece
Google
for him.
didn't exist? Google didn't exist? He's still floating in that land. It's not like he changed his opinions. I find it interesting that you're willing to defend somebody who's making inflammatory comments, and there is a line in journalism, and the line stops at insults and facts. Right?
But you're insisting that Mehdi Hassan didn't say that Republicans are Nazis.
I did not insist anything. You're putting the burden on me. We're not talking about Mehdi Hassan. We're talking about Richard.
It's in the clip we're talking about.
Richard was kicked off, not Mehdi.
His name's Ryan.
Ryan was kicked off, not Mehdi.
Right, and my point is that there's a double standard because Mehdi Hassan wasn't kicked off for saying Republicans are Nazis.
He didn't say Republicans are Nazis. He said that Nazis' comments were made at the MSG, which they were. Race replacement theory, Tucker Carlson's comments. Do you stand by those?
Yes.
Do you stand by every single comment in MSG?
I stand by Tucker Carlson's comments because I find it interesting. Yesterday on this panel, you said that Puerto Rico was being colonized by Americans who are tax cheats, who are going there and ruining the culture and driving up the cost of housing. But when Tucker Carlson says it about mainland America and illegal immigrants, suddenly it's great replacement white supremacist theory?
Puerto Rico... Your standards are wild. We are a country of immigrants. Puerto Rico is a colony that does not have oversight over their economy, over their power, over the infrastructure. The United States government has total say, and they don't even have access to those tax breaks. Only rich Americans do who move there and permanently live
Nor
there.
does Washington, D.C. know, Miki. You're talking about Americans going to Puerto Rico as colonization, but we're supposed to allow illegal immigrants to just overrun the southern border.
That's not the same thing at all.
Exactly. It's worse to allow illegal immigrants.
Whoa!
Oh my God.
She's like totally shutting her down. She's like,
Jeez.
hey, how come that's not colonization? I didn't agree to be colonized.
Amber Duke is like heavyweight champion here. God,
I know, she's
damn.
great. Amber Duke is good, and Batya Sargon is really good. It's so weird because everyone, they always have this idea that Republicans are anti-woman or they just hate women, but like Amber Duke is totally smart. Batya is completely smart. It's funny. I saw a talk between Batya and Destiny, and just she totally annihilated Destiny. It was great.
I gotta watch that, yeah, because you're talking about that. And
it's so funny too. He's such a complete and utter bad faith dick to her the entire time, and she is like the nicest person in the world. Like at the end of it, Destiny admits he's like depressed because he hasn't changed her mind. And she's like, oh, I'm sorry I depressed you. It's like, what the fuck? He just like insulted you in every way. And because you didn't fall for all of his like rhetorical tricks, he's like depressed. Yeah, because you're smart. Oh, it is good.
White people are above people of color.
Boy, how did you get that from my comment?
Not the same thing at all.
This is so funny because she's like completely a cognitive load. So you got to go back to the base level. She's like, let me just get this straight. You think white people are better than people of color? Let me just, like an establishing mark here. You're a racist, right?
Yeah, it's like, what? Well, she's the one, what's her name again?
Nomiki, I think, yeah.
Nomiki? She's the one that, she laid out the reason it's different is because peoples are.
Of course, yeah,
so
exactly.
Therefore, that's, there's some kind of justification. It's like, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, when white Americans are moving to Puerto Rico, it's gentrification, okay?
Right.
At all. And
exactly, it's worse to allow illegal immigrants.
So you think white people are above people of color?
Boy, how did you get that from my comments at all?
Because you're saying it's okay for white Americans to move to Puerto Rico.
I'm not saying that. I'm asking you to have the same standard for Puerto Rico and the mainland.
There's no tax incentives where people are being displaced. You're not being displaced by an undocumented person who's taking low-wage jobs. You're not being displaced by them.
Yeah, the low-wage workers who live in America are being displaced by them. The ones that you don't care about at all. Remember Bernie Sanders? I'm sure you voted for him.
I'm not allowed to care about the Americans who are?
There aren't. There's been countless.
They're not suppressing wages for Americans.
Why are you afraid of immigrants? Why are you afraid of immigrants?
Why? I'm not afraid of immigrants.
Because you don't, every time.
I support legal immigration.
Sure you do. Well, a lot of these people, the Haitians were legal immigrants.
Look, sure you do. Didn't she say, I'm not going to make it personal?
Listen, Adam, don't bring that up. Okay.
I mean, she basically just called her a liar.
Don't bring up facts in this conversation.
How is that not making it personal? Sure you do. Liar.
Sure you do. You
liar.
Racist, lying scumbag. Where's your hood? Where's your hood?
I don't want to make this personal, but you liar.
Sure didn't like them.
Well, they came in illegally and then they were granted temporary protected status.
Which is legal.
Okay.
Okay.
We have a lot more topics to talk about on Rising right after this.
Oh my God.
Oh man.
Crazy.
Amber does this thing at the end where she kind of like flexes with her eyebrows. It's that was great. You know, she had a lot of fun doing that set. And you know, Nomiki had to call her therapist 15 minutes after that camera went off.
I've never seen such a one-sided beatdown, I think.
Oh yeah.
In the internet punditry space like that. That was brutal.
Yeah.
I'm going through it now. I don't know have they been on air together after that?
Yeah, look, she said there was another segment. I was like, we got to see that segment.
Well, no, I mean, like, yeah, that like the same day, but I mean, like
the Puerto Rico segment,
like the next day, because I'm looking through it. It looks,
Puerto Rico.
Interesting.
No one's talking about Puerto Rico anymore. Joe Biden made sure of that. He's like, I'm going to call everyone garbage.
Right.
Have you voted yet? Oh, you said you're not voting, but you're
I
like,
did vote.
Yeah, you're voting in local elections and stuff like that. You're just not voting top of the ticket.
Right. There was because I voted for both. Yeah, I did vote.
I wrote in Candace Owens.
Presidente, but there was amendments. There was a legalized marijuana amendment, and then there was a abortion protection amendment that I voted for. And there's some other like local stuff.
I thought Trump didn't send a big enough FU to these cancel culture people, so I wrote in Candace Owens. I figured that would.
Oh my God!
Really send a message.
Didn't. You did.
Yeah, I voted for Candace Owens.
You voted. Are you for real? Wait a minute. No. Guys, this is what's happening here. Okay. Adam writes in Kanye West, proud black man. Okay. A few years later, Kanye West comes out as a Nazi. Right?
I know. You sensed what I'm doing. You sensed what I'm doing.
So now Adam is like, okay,
power.
How can I make Candace Owens come out as a Nazi? Oh, I know. I'll vote for her in the election.
I have not. I contemplated writing her in, but I haven't done it yet. So I actually have not voted yet. I just started looking at the ballot measures today. So, but I did. I was like, who would be more incendiary than Trump?
I mean, listen, if you want to vote for Candace Owens to try to get her to come out as a Nazi in the next couple of years, I'm on board with that.
Maybe I will. Maybe I will. It's like and it would be a good. It would be a good meme. But like the Kanye meme has been like the meme that keeps on giving. So yes, it's like Jesus and the fishes. Constant fun. All right. So I guess we're just going to go to super chats and.
Yeah, I don't see. Yeah, they haven't been together since that incident.
Oh, really?
Not yet. It's only been like 2 days or 3 days. So.
No, Miki doesn't. This video has to be one of their top because everyone was asking us to cover this.
It was. This is one. It had it has over 100,000 views. So and they haven't been doing the best ever since they lost.
Yeah.
Their
locale. Oh.
Their BGJ versus Robbie lineup, which was beautiful.
Yeah.
There was some weird thing. Did you see this? Did you see Tucker Carlson say that he was attacked by a demon?
No, I did see the clip where Joe Rogan said he was talking about some guy he had on that sucked Obama's dick, or Obama sucked his dick or something, and they were doing a bunch of blow together. Do you know about this?
There's that guy. I've seen that guy around. That guy's he's made that claim for a while now. So,
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is the claim real, or
I mean, I'm skeptical of it, obviously.
nobody knows? He didn't produce the blue dress yet?
He did not produce a blue dress or a blue Ziploc bag with blow and Obama's DNA on it. So I sent you this. I sent you the video here on. It's a Twitter video. Okay, it's like 4 minutes. I'm curious, as an atheist, I'm curious as to what your reaction to this. And beyond just the whole like being attacked by a demon thing, like just the whole aesthetics of this video, very interesting to me. Okay, very fascinating to me.
Well, it has a real. Is that Adam Sandler?
No.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you mean the guy he's talking to?
Yeah, it looks like Adam Sandler.
Doesn't look anything like Adam Sandler. What do you mean?
It has a real Brokeback Mountain vibe here. I mean, I'm waiting for these guys to make out. Is that how this ends?
That is how it ends. He's like, I was attacked by a demon. It made me gay. No, I always do it. I always do.
Do you think
that homosexuality was a curse? A curse put upon humans by the demons. See, this is what happens, Adam. Okay,
well, it's kind of what they say. I mean, that's the kind of the narrative.
You know how, like, I don't know if you know this, okay, as a man, I don't know if you've ever experienced this or know this, but you know how sometimes you're sleeping,
right,
and then you wake up and there's a little something going on downstairs.
Right. Your wife's on top of you?
No, you fucking pervert. No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Yeah.
No, I just mean like sometimes you wake up, your wife's sleeping next to you. There's nothing going on, but you wake up and just have like, you're excited for no reason. You just wake up and you're just excited in the middle of the night. Or you wake up in the morning and you're just like, bam, right?
Yeah, no.
That's because
your wife's on top of you, you wake up in the morning.
That's because a demon, Adam, has been sexually attacking you while you sleep. Okay.
Okay.
And if it's a succubus, it's going to make you into a gooner and a pervert. But if it's an incubus, if it's a male demon, it's going to make you gay.
Oh, that can happen?
That can happen. Yes.
Suck your best?
At least, I mean, listen, I've never experienced this, obviously. This is what I've heard from sources.
Is that really a thing? A suck your best? Is that really a thing?
A succubus? You've never heard of a succubus before?
Suck your best.
Succubus? Wait, are you serious? I don't know if you're beaming or not. A succubus, it's like a mythological creature. Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's a thing. Okay.
That's a thing.
Interesting.
You found a new porn term you could search after the stream.
Yeah. Suck your best.
There you go.
I wonder what I'll find.
Well, if you type in "suck your best," you might find something a little bit different. But okay, so here, wait, play this video. So let's watch the video for a bit.
Are we gonna go the whole 4 minutes?
I don't know if we're gonna go the whole 4 minutes.
I don't know. Look, if they start making out, I'm gonna pause it.
Okay, but this is so funny to me. You have Tucker Carlson. It says at the bottom, says Christianity's movie. So I guess for some movie, you have Tucker Carlson. Not only is he talking about like getting attacked by a demon, a gay demon, in the middle of the night, but he's wearing like a flannel shirt in the woods. Like he's playing dress up. Okay. Tucker Carlson is like one of these coastal elite, political pundits his whole life. And he's playing like country boy dress up in the middle of the woods, talking about getting attacked by a demon.
Yeah.
This is a guy that was born in San Francisco.
Was he really? Holy shit. He's like a Berkeley boy.
Yeah, didn't he go to some Ivy League school or something too?
I don't know. It's funny. I have all of these clothes here, but like those are my dirty clothes and they're filthy and ragged. All these clothes look brand new.
He didn't go to Ivy League. He went to Trinity College in Hartford, Connecticut. So
get it right.
Yeah, very country aesthetic, Hartford, Connecticut.
Is this the guy that sucked Obama's dong? This guy here?
That is the guy. Tucker Carlson was the guy.
No, I mean the other guy.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
I gotta watch that. I didn't know that was even a thing. What's going on there?
Right.
All right, ready?
Give me a countdown here.
3, 2, 1, go.
Do you think the presence of evil is kickstarting people to wonder about the good?
That's what happened to me.
That's what happened to you?
Oh, yeah. I had a direct experience with it.
In the milieu of journalism or just...
Nope, in my bed.
It's a dramatic
at
reenactment.
night,
He's
and
like...
I got attacked while I was asleep with my wife and 4 dogs in the bed and mauled. Physically mauled.
In a spiritual attack by a demon?
By a little dog demon.
By a demon. Or by something unseen that left...
Is that right?
Claw marks on my
Pause it for a
sides.
second.
On my...
So it left physical marks.
Oh,
Did you, wait,
What?
Did you hear that? Wait, this is so, okay, so if you're just listening, like the
Left
video, this is
physical
is
marks in
ridiculous.
my underwear.
I know, but
They were
like,
very gooey.
the visuals here are ridiculous. You have like Tucker Carlson LARPing as a country boy, you know, his little outfit, and it's like a slow motion of a dog, like in a cabin in the woods, and then it cuts to Tucker Carlson shooting a gun. This has nothing to do with the story he's telling, right? Because he didn't shoot. He's not like, I picked up my gun to shoot the demon. Like he's just in the forest shooting a gun at something off screen. And if you listen, if you kind of roll back there, you can hear the dog like whimper after he shoots. They're like, did he shoot
Like
the
it
dog?
dies. Yeah, I know. It's
yes,
weird.
What's going on here?
I shot the demon with my flesh pistol.
Oh my God. Okay, wait, go to 28 seconds and then we'll start.
It might mess up. Sometimes when I back up a
okay.
Twitter
What-
video, it messes
what
up.
time
So
are you
I'm
at
at
then?
37 seconds, but
Okay.
we're probably good enough. Ready?
Yep.
Continue.
You're still there? Yeah. Year and a half ago.
Was your wife terrified? I know you were.
I wasn't. I was totally confused. I woke up and I couldn't breathe and I thought I was going to suffocate, and I walked around outside, and then I walked in and my wife and dogs had not woken up, and they're very light sleepers. And then I had these terrible pains on my rib cage and on my shoulder, and I was just in my boxer shorts, and I went and flipped on the light in the bathroom, and I had 4 claw marks on either side underneath my arms and on my left shoulder, and they're bleeding.
Wait, they were bleeding?
They're bleeding, yeah. No, they're actual claw marks. And I sleep on my side, so I wasn't clawing myself.
Let me tell you what happened here. Okay. I know exactly what happened. Okay.
This is I'm skeptical. This is like
I
some
know
major
exactly what
bullshit.
happened here. Okay.
Spill it.
Tucker
What
Carlson
happened?
was like, "Hey, honey, can we like, you know, can we get down tonight?" She's like, "No, I have a headache. I'm on my period.
Oh,
I'm tired." And she rolls over, and Tucker's like, "Oh, this fucking bitch." So he gets out of bed, he turns on, you know, his little laptop in his cabin, and he starts jacking it to some, you know, the most filthy, degenerate porn ever. He's looking at like, I don't know, he's looking at like trans, you know, bathroom porn or something, right? And his wife comes in, she's like, "What are you doing? What is this sign?" He's like, "A demon! A demon attacked me, honey. Look, there's liquid all over the place. A demon, a spooky demon ghost.
This is his cover story.
It hit me with the ectoplasm. Look, this ectoplasm all over my body."
His wife has not bought this story since that night, but he's like, "Look, if I put it in a video and I post it to X, she's gonna believe me finally."
Well, he said that he still has the scars.
Oh, okay.
Why
Please
wouldn't
tell
you
me he
show
doesn't
that?
show. No,
Why would you not
please.
show that?
Nobody wants to see Tucker Carlson with his shirt off.
Yeah, but okay, wait a minute. You're Tucker Carlson, a world famous, you know,
Ectoplasm.
ectoplasm, yeah, no,
Studier.
world famous political pundit. And he says a year and a half ago, okay, so he's famous. It's not like this happened like 30 years ago. He's famous. He says he wakes up in the middle of the night, fucking attacked by a demon that has slash marks all over his body. He's bleeding. How the fuck does he not take a picture of that?
Yeah.
I'd be like, I've got to show the world. What the I woke up. First of all, I'd be like, what the fuck's going on? Is my wife trying to kill me? Or my dog trying to kill me? Like, why would you jump to demon first and foremost?
I would jump to mosquito. That's what I would think.
Well, I mean, first of all, if you have claw marks all over your body, that's a one big ass fucking mosquito. I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, like if he gets bit by a mosquito, you can end up clawing yourself in your sleep.
Oh, I see. Oh, smart. Oh, maybe
just
right.
Seems very logical. Yeah, we
Like
get the mosquitoes during the summertime too. One will sneak in and get you. Yeah.
Right. He got bit and then he scratched himself.
Yeah. I got
like
claw
my theory
marks all
better.
over. I got.
You know what? That's probably what happened. He got bit and he like scratched himself once, and then he woke up and there was blood because he scratched himself too hard.
Right.
And then that story evolved into like there are claw marks all over my body. You know, there's one like claw mark from himself. I like my story better, that he was masturbating the trans porn and tried to cover it up. But no, actual claw marks. Look at that face.
Right.
Actual claw marks, Adam.
Yeah. Are you ready to go? I'm at what is this here? I'm somewhere on the 1 minute and 17 seconds.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, go.
I don't have long nails, and they didn't fit my hands anyway.
It wasn't him.
But yeah, that happened. So I'm not from a world where things like that happen. I never heard of anything like that happening before. I had no idea what that was. I knew it was spiritual immediately.
You did? Okay, that was going to be my question.
Yeah. I don't understand to this day. I'm not going to put it.
You didn't try to refute the spiritual part in your own mind. You went right into the.
Well, it didn't make any sense, and it doesn't now. But I'm not from a, what do they call it, faith tradition that talks about things like that or even acknowledges their existence. Like, there's nothing like that. I've never heard anybody say anything like that in my whole life.
What was the next day like?
Okay, the rest of it's
well, the next morning I woke up and I thought,
I think here's the third possibility. Okay, his wife was literally trying to kill him, and then he wakes up, like she drugs him, and she's like, I'm gonna fucking kill this bastard. And then he starts to wake up. So then she pretends like he's asleep. And she's like, oh my God, what happened to me? And the wife's like, honey, demons. It must have been demons. Demons have been attacking you while you're sleeping.
You were attacked by demons, honey, and they just so happened to get all the insurance paperwork out at the same time.
Look, the demons pulled all your life insurance policies out of the drawer.
What are they trying to say?
What are they trying? They're trying, honey, the demons are trying to convince me to finish the job, but don't worry, I'll support you, I'll protect you. Oh my God. This is ridiculous.
Right.
This is just so silly.
Yeah, I don't know if this is, I mean, a lot of people like Tucker Carlson, obviously, so. I don't know if this is, like, I think people obviously throw around the grifting term a little too much.
This is like ultra grift though, right?
Oh, you think? I don't know.
Well, it's not just, here's the thing. Not only do I think the story itself is like ridiculous. I mean, I don't believe in demons or anything like that, but not only the story itself ridiculous, but the way it's being told with like him wearing this like outfit, and it's like shot like he's in a cabin shooting at nothing. Like, it's not just a weird story that someone tells that like, oh, this really weird thing happened to me. It's like, why is like the way it's dressed up makes it even more preposterous.
Okay, I found the shot of him shooting out the window.
Right. It's like, what is he doing?
It's at 29 seconds. Let's see. Let's listen.
or by something.
You see, you hear the dog afterwards. Like, did he just shoot it? What the fuck?
That dog had a demon in it.
Had
to get rid of it. Had to put that demon dog down.
See, I've never heard him talk about, like, you think you'd be talking about this like the next day. Like, I got like random, I'm world famous, political pundit. I'm gonna tell you about how I got attacked by a demon or something.
Yeah.
It's good publicity, right?
Sure, yeah.
But no, nothing.
I've never had anything. Well, I guess there was that one thing when I was a little kid where I was in, I think it was like a daycare place, and I went over to they had like a play set for kids of a kitchen, and I turned on the water and I ran some water and I ran my hands in the water and I turned it off. And then later that day they told me, oh, that's just a fake set. You can't turn the water on. What are you talking about? That's like,
and you're like, what?
Yeah. And I went back and I never could turn the water on again.
Oh, that's interesting.
And I was like, holy shit, this place is gaslighting me. But, yeah, that's the only time I've ever had any sort of weird, freaky experience.
Interesting.
And I mean, this happened, I must have been 5 years old when this happened. So,
So
I've always chalked it up to, I'm a kid.
When I was 7, I had, I guess, something similar to that, where I was at school and I was going into the bathroom and the bathroom door opened like on its own. And at first I just thought someone was like pushing it open to try to jump out and scare me, but when I walked in, there was no one in there. And then I realized the door had opened like back, like in like it opened outward when the door has to open inward. And I was like, what? That's creepy.
Oh, it's the door switched around on you or something?
Yeah, like the orientation of the, like the way it opened didn't make sense.
Hmm.
So, and I was like, oh, that's a weird thing that ever happened.
It opened
And there was someone there with
the hinges
me.
were on the top of the door.
Yeah.
The bottom of the door.
Right. And there was someone there with me, and I said, like, did you see that? And they said, yeah. And they acknowledged that it was crazy. And then like a few weeks later, they're like, no, nothing happened. What are you talking about? And I was like, what's going on here? Am I getting gaslit? I didn't know the term gaslit back then, but I was like, what do you mean? You said you saw it with me. What the fuck? You bastard, you traitor. And then the government came and took that kid away, and I never saw him. So
now we're being accused of having Tucker derangement syndrome.
there you go.
Look,
they don't believe that the demons got Tucker while he was sleeping.
Is there someone that we really don't like that has their name begins with T, so we can tell people? I can go, when I'm accused of TDS, I can say, oh yeah, I do. I have TDS. Tucker derangement
There
syndrome.
you go. It's good. That's good. I like it.
But I don't know. I'd like it to be someone more incendiary than Tucker.
Maybe remember how it came out that Tucker hated Donald Trump secretly?
Oh yeah, then everyone had Tucker derangement syndrome.
Right, and he specifically said that he thought Donald Trump was a demonic force. So maybe we're sitting here laughing, giggling. We shouldn't be, because maybe Donald Trump came and crawled into Tucker's bed while he was sleeping and clawed him up. And it's like, you bitch, this is revenge for saying all those mean things about me.
Oh yeah. Oh.
Okay.
But he campaigned for Donald Trump, right? He was at this rally.
Well,
this Madison Square rally.
He has since, said that that those tweets were, those messages were bad, and he doesn't support them anymore, or never supported them, and he was in a moment of weakness. I don't know. He's some excuse for them.
All I've seen of the rally is the Puerto Rico joke. I've not been watching any sort of campaign stuff. I'm kind of burnt out on it. Kamala did her big speech, the backdrop of the January 6th catastrophe, right? The assault on the Capitol. So, but I don't know how that speech went. I think it was completely upstaged in the same way that the Madison Square Garden was upstaged by the Puerto Rico joke.
Right.
The Kamala speech was upstaged by Biden calling everyone garbage. It's like, oh, your big speech. So, but I'm not going to vote for Kamala. I'm not going to vote for Trump. I'll probably
vote
write
for
someone
Candace
in.
Owens. Try to get her to go.
I mean, I might vote for Candace Owens. So.
I like it. I sent you one other clip that we should watch. It's like 2 minutes. It's pretty interesting. It's Nate Silver talking about how he thinks that all the pollsters, not like most of the pollsters, are rigging the numbers.
Oh, really?
Which is kind of fascinating, as Nate Silver himself is a famous pollster. So,
yeah, I don't know how pollsters can get any sort of representative sample, because if they're using the internet, you're sampling internet people. Like, how do you get a representative sample from the internet? Right?
Well, I mean, they'd have to, call people and do other things, right?
Yeah, but who answers their phone? That's like, I don't think you can just call people and get through to anyone.
Yeah, that's true. Because I mean, I've been called by pollsters, and I don't.
Oh, really? And you don't,
because I see it, or I've picked it up before. Because I think what happens is I've answered one of these polls once, and I think if you answer it once, you get on like a list, and then they all start calling you. And I've only answered it once, and I'm like, oh god, and I get called forever, and I don't pick up anymore.
I responded to one text, I think, from the DNC, and I think I can't remember what they said, but I said, I'll start voting Democrat when you guys stop being racist. And they were like, okay, thanks. I'm like, I guess that means they're not going to stop being racist. So that's kind of the line.
Worked.
That's the line for me. No, now my phone blows up all the time. I get texts from a million.
Right.
I kind of let them know. I couldn't resist, though. I can't remember what it was, though. Something infuriated me. They got a response out of me. There's a couple things the Democrats have their ground game together. There's a really good book that was written a few years ago about campaigns. It goes through the history of campaign advertising and get out the vote programs. And it's super fascinating. There's all these different tricks that they use to get their people to the polls and to actually get people to vote. When the book was written, they did a lot of mailers, which mailers are still popular. I'm sure you get mailers in the mail around election time.
Yeah.
But I think the Democrats, and I think this is why Joe Biden did so good in the last election. I think the Democrats are just way ahead of the Republicans in get out the vote technology. And so I do think the Republicans are at a disadvantage. And I don't know that Trump has really made an effort to close that disadvantage.
Welcome back to Risky Business.
What's that? Oh, you got it on the watch
I got it
together.
on
Look at
YouTube,
that. Nice.
You're saying Trump hasn't been able to close it on the ground game?
Yeah, so I think I know we've got some Trump supporters in our audience. I think you should steel your heart for a potential loss. And I do think
that was
if
definitely
there's a loss, it'll be due to ground game.
I know, like, that's definitely what the word was for Trump, in 2020, was that his apparatus was nowhere near as good as the Democrats and Biden's apparatus for getting out votes and all this stuff. I don't know I wouldn't be surprised knowing Trump. I wouldn't be surprised if that hasn't been shored up, but maybe it has been. So who knows?
Yeah.
But anyway, here, let's listen to this for like a couple minutes. Now, I didn't even know this is a thing, Risky Business Podcast. So check it out. It's kind of interesting. Nate Silver's on this, I think, regularly.
Well, let's see what happens. A week from
for all
today.
that, it's still approximately 50-50 race.
And it's still approximately 50-50. All right, 1 week to go, Nate. What are the models saying? I know we're 50-50, but are you seeing movement? Are you seeing anything important? Kind of where are we and what's happening?
The latest numbers. Kamala Harris.
Every time you need to get a new voice going. I love it.
Kamala Harris has a 45.3% chance of winning the Electoral College.
Are you trying to be the AI?
I may skip past the jokes. Okay.
Their vote. It's basically 55-45 Trump, or 54-45 with a small chance of a tie.
So that's Trump ahead in the Electoral College.
Yeah, according to Nate.
It's been a little weird. I mean, look, it's gradually drifted to Trump over actually a fairly long period now. I mean, 2 out of every 3 days, Harris has lost ground in the forecast since roughly early October. It looks like she should stay.
That's when she campaigns. This was the same thing that I said would be a problem with Biden. Remember, I said Biden is going to get in this doom spiral where he's going to do badly campaigning because he's such a geezer. And in order to fix that, he's going to have to campaign more, and it's going to make it a bigger problem. Now, Kamala's in that same doom spiral.
That is true.
Stabilized a bit, maybe. I don't think we're going to learn very much in this last week of the polling. In fact, I kind of trust pollsters less. Every time a pollster, every state is just a +1. Every single state's a tie. No, you're fucking hurting. You're cheating. Your numbers aren't all going to come out at exactly 1-point leads when you're sampling 800 people over dozens of surveys. You are lying. You're putting your fucking finger on the scale. I will not name names, but some pollsters are really bad about.
Oh, okay. So he's saying that the polls show Trump has a 1-point lead, which is good. I mean, a lot of people say he's got to have that Democrats need like 3 to 5 points just to beat the Electoral College. Well, are they talking specifically about states? Or are they talking about like the popular vote?
They're talking about, overall.
Right.
If he has a 1-point lead in a state, then then he gets the state through the Electoral College.
Right. Yeah.
But no, what Nate is saying, I guess it's kind of somewhat out of context. He's saying that the fact that all these polls together all keep coming up with like the same numbers that are all, putting it so within range of each other. He's saying that's bullshit. Like that's not the way polling should work. That the polling should show like there should be a bunch of variations, and then you have to kind of take the polls together and make an average out of that. And that's the way that real polling works.
Right. So obviously there should be states where Trump has a massive lead.
But there should be polls that show like Kamala up 4, Trump up 2, because like the whole point of he's saying like the there's like this standard deviation of error that's supposed to be accepted, and the fact that they're all coming up the exact same doesn't really make any sense.
Right. So look, that means the polling's crap.
That's what he's saying.
And then when he puts a bunch of crap polls into his poll aggregator, what's going to happen?
You're going to get a crap result.
More crap. It's a crapshoot. I'm telling you. God, I can't wait for the election. Sitch, have I told you how excited I am? It's going to be great.
About this.
Anna said she would come on. I reached out to Shu's husband, Eudaimonia. He said he might come on too. So
nice.
There's a few people. Stephen Michael Davis said he might come on. J Mac wants to come on.
Nice.
Emerson.
Vanessa wants to come on again and talk to us about generations theory.
Okay.
She got to talk last time, so.
Whoops. Was that recorded? Oops, sorry. Yeah. So,
I didn't hear anything.
Okay. Insider advantage. All these GOP leaning for it's always we're not going out too far on a limb. Trump, it's just Trump +1 in Pennsylvania every fucking single time. No, that's not how fucking polling works. That's not how polling is supposed to work. There's a margin of
Nate, tell us how you really feel.
So you get hurting and like everyone just basically the pollsters are 50-50 is a forecast because not all base rates are 50-50, right? The pollsters are just fucking punting, except the New York Times that actually has balls, right? The pollsters just fucking punting on this election for the most part. I mean, not just the New York Times. There are some of the other high quality polls will actually publish numbers that surprise you once in a while. If a pollster never publishes numbers that surprises you, then it has no value. Information.
Yeah, so it's just that was the end of the clip, but
Well,
it is
look
interesting. So because essentially you had this issue where all the pollsters, and I wonder if there's also a financial thing going on here where all the pollsters, they kind of hedging their bets, because if they go out there and they make these predictions and they're off by a couple points or whatever, they're going to lose money in the future because people are like, oh, you got this thing wrong, you got this thing wrong.
Yeah, and they commission these polls. So if you can't get anyone on the phone, that's the thing. I want to know their methodology.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of these places will say, well, our methodology is a trade secret, right? We're not going to tell you how we got the poll.
Right.
Which, I mean, okay, right? That probably means that you don't know. Like, you're just making this shit up. That's what he's accusing him of here.
Right. Well, he accuses them of, I don't understand like the math of it all. It sounds like he's sort of accusing them of like maybe getting real data, but then they weigh it in a way that's like makes everything super close, even if it doesn't make sense to make everything super close.
Right.
So, because I mean, there was this fear, because this is what happened obviously with 2016, is they're still kind of reeling from that fear that the polls are all so way off, and there's this concept of the shy Trump voter and everything like that. But then in 2020, obviously Biden won, and in 2022, the midterms didn't go the direction people thought. The red wave didn't really occur. And this concept of the shy Trump voter, I mean, that doesn't seem to be remotely true anymore. Seems like you see everyone running around with Trump hats all over the place. So
yeah, they're trying to push past the stereotype.
Right.
Trying to say it's okay to vote for Trump.
Yeah. Anyway. Okay, let's go to some super chats.
All right, I'm going to bring up our Indiegogo campaign on the comic. So I have a little window here to be able to order more comics. Right now I have about 200 of the 3-cover variant left. So if you guys want to back the comic, this is the time to back the comic.
Right, yeah, because these have to be printed beforehand. Like if you miss it and you run out, we can't print like, extras for people after that. So
yeah, right now I'm printing 3,000 books. So that's it. But I could, there's a window here of a few days that I could up that an extra 500 books if people want to buy books. So Sitch and I have contemplated doing streams. I know Ethan Van Sciver is the king of doing streams where he's just selling books and he's looking back, constantly refreshing the page, looking at the numbers here. Right now we're at 74,505. Like a lot of this cash is eaten up in like printing and shipping costs. Like, so we're not making a ton of money on this. I know that seems like a lot of money, but it's not really when it's all said and done. So like a lot of the Comicsgate people really think the break-even point is about 100,000 for a campaign, and we're 25,000 short of that. I think now I can't remember. Well, a lot of these guys, they do obviously break six figures. We haven't really done anything to kind of sell it, so I mean that's on us. And a lot of that was because it just took so long to finish. So, but there it is.
Sign up if you haven't.
Snap up now if you can.
Get your comic.
We'll see. We'll come back to this page and we'll see if anyone backed. If this is actually working,
right?
We'll probably be completely demoralized, but that's okay. Oh, and I did. I have the hard copy proof, which is pretty cool. Where they do like 8 pages of the comic here.
Ooh, look at that.
And you get to look at it printed up. So
nice.
Hopefully you can't read any of that because we don't want to give the story away as we go. But I think this one is on the, I think both of those are on the campaign.
Nice.
On the campaign page. I've been really bad about updating the Indiegogo, which, I mean, people have different philosophies on that. Some people come into the comment section and they're very, very angry that I haven't updated the Indiegogo, but I figure this is mostly for our fans anyway. So, okay, I'll bring up some super chats.
Anonymous Cow for $5 says we need a reunion with Carl so he can mediate election stream, maybe. We'd love to have Carl on, but he doesn't need to mediate anything. So
I did go onto his stream. Last 4 years ago. I don't know if you did. Did you go onto his election stream? He's like, Adam, you have to come on to the election stream. And I went on and I said, well, they're saying that we might not know the winner tonight. So you guys better keep yourself prepared for that. And I don't think we did know the winner, but I think people pretty much knew it was going to be Biden. Well, I'm not sure. Remember they did the thing where they were talking about the Biden votes were going to come in the mail-in votes? Remember the famous fraud meme where the line votes graph jumped up overnight?
Yeah.
Which we'll probably get another one of those this time around.
It'll be fun. So.
Are you excited about that?
I'm very excited. I'm excited for a whole new 4 years of stolen election memes. So
could be fun.
Zerg1337 for 2 Aussie bucks says, so how do the vibes feel at the moment, Trump or Kamala? I mean, I think I'm leaning towards, I think it'll be close, but yeah, I agree with Nate Silver. I think Trump has a slightly better chance of winning. So
you're the opposite of me. You think Trump is going to win?
Yeah, I'm leaning on Trump winning. You think Kamala's going to win? Kamala.
Yeah, I think Kamala is going to win, to be honest with you. Yeah. I think the abortion thing. And also, I mean, we're kind of in a bubble, right? So it's very easy for me. I guess I'm kind of doing the discounting my bubble thing where, like, if I gave into my bubble, I would say, oh, yeah, Trump's going to win by a mile. But I think that.
Well, if it's just like
that's like wishful thinking.
Now, again, we have to rely on polling, which, as Nate said, is not exactly the most accurate. But, if there is this idea that Trump is, ahead with, minorities and ahead with men, I question if Harris can pick up enough among the base or women just to fill that gap.
It's women that really, really matters.
Right.
And I just think she's going to clean house with women.
We'll see. It'll be interesting.
I don't see how she doesn't with all the abortion stuff.
Right. Ace for $5 says, I hope you guys are doing well. I think you're both awesome, and I hate seeing you two fight. Well, thank you. We're both doing great.
Yeah, a lot of people were really nice in the comment section. So,
Alex Wright for $5 says, thoughts on Johnson's no Obamacare remark. Will there be a second attempt to repeal the ACA? Do you guys think it would be good if the Republicans repealed the ACA? If Trump wins, I would be highly skeptical of a repeal of Obamacare. I mean, we haven't even heard this entire campaign cycle. Has anyone even brought up like what they're going to do for health insurance at all?
of course not.
Like, so weird. This is one of the things that annoyed me about Biden. Biden ran on a public option. When he wins, like, doesn't even attempt to do anything with it. It goes out the window. Trump ran on the first time, ran on repealing Obamacare and replacing it with some genius plan, and then they did nothing, whatsoever. It had no plan to replace it for 4 years, so I'm skeptical that there's some plan, to replace it. And he knows, and they all know that they can't just repeal it and replace it with nothing. There has to be something there. So, and I believe actually when I Googled this, I believe the Trump campaign has already tried to distance themselves from this comment that Johnson said. Let's see, where was it? Trump campaign wants no part of Mike Johnson's no Obamacare comment. Says MSNBC. Even MSNBC says this.
They're like, hell no.
Trump campaign spokesperson Carolyn Leavitt said repealing Obamacare is not President Trump's policy position. Interesting. So there you go.
They did. I mean, didn't they do repeal and replace in 2016? I thought they tried to repeal it like a dozen times.
They did, but they never had the replacement.
They repealed the
mandate,
the mandate, which is great, right? You're not forced to buy health insurance.
Well, I don't know if it's great. I mean, that supposedly, I haven't looked into the numbers, but that was supposed to be the whole process that made it cheaper. And so the argument is by repealing the individual mandate, it's now more expensive for everyone.
Oh, it is?
I know that my health insurance has increased. I don't know if it was because of the repeal of that or just because of inflation or time or whatever, but so.
Oh, that sucks.
That could have been a huge mistake.
That sucks. I mean, so yeah, that's a good reason not to vote for Trump, right?
Right. Well, I mean, Biden, they didn't put the individual mandate back.
Did it raise more than your tax cut? Or was it a wash? The tax cut
I didn't
calculate
I didn't calculate that, so I don't know.
I'm terrible with this kind of stuff.
Lives in Deswall specifically for $5. Says 1.2% difference in national polls. What are the odds the national popular vote interstate compact triggers for Republicans and it's decisive? Is that the what was that again? The national popular vote interstate compact? There's an agreement among groups of the United States to award all their electoral votes to whichever presidential ticket wins the overall popular vote in the 50 states. I mean, I don't think that's going to ever happen. Things are too contentious. So
how does it trigger it? I thought some states have laws on the books where they are going to award their electors based on the popular vote. But it's just states that the Democratic candidate usually wins. So it's like not really helpful. Yeah. Like if Florida did that and Trump won Florida, but Kamala won the popular vote, Florida would flip blue in that scenario if they had this law in the books. And the state law in the books, and I guess the state's going to award their electors however they want. It's just a law that says we're going to award our electors whoever wins the popular vote.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's the way that they're trying to circumvent the Electoral College, who we've been obviously fighting with people on the Electoral College. So,
right.
I think I've got it down to the counter argument. Basically, is people who grow food should have votes that count more.
I like that.
Well,
I like that. That's good.
I'm just trying to simplify the argument here. Like,
right. Ace for $5 says, Two-Face Snake Hutch is trying to claim you guys broke up. Please never let him back on the show. Bad faith to the core. I saw that he had a very clickbait thumbnail. I didn't actually watch the video, so it's pretty funny if he just assumed that based on having zero interaction with us. Did he send you a DM for comment? I didn't get any DMs for comment from Hutch or anyone. So
I did not. But look, if they're going to promote the channel, I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing.
There you go. I like it. So thanks.
I don't know what kind of incendiary stuff he said. I mean, we got to get Hutch on for a follow-up on this whole Smear the Queer thing, right? Because he's completely like full of shit on Smear the Queer. And
well, it's not. I mean, it's not anything anyone can prove. It's just a bunch of people giving their own personal anecdotes about the situation.
No, I think I've looked into enough evidence to prove that.
Really, you feel confident on Smear the Queer?
I do feel confident that Smear the Queer is a game that is pretty pervasive in schools around America, and it's not like a anti-gay thing.
I'd never heard of. I mean, not in.
You never heard of it?
Never heard of it till he mentioned it.
Okay.
So it was not a Florida thing.
Well, I looked it up online. There's a bunch of stuff about it. So
right. Bruins for 28 months. Thanks so much. Says no.
No what? Oh yeah. Oh.
There you go. Thank you. Gene,
I should have done that when I left the stream, right?
No. We should have that
Sitch,
that soundboard.
No!
We're gonna have the Vader no on soundboard ready, so
that would have been good,
huh? How am I sheltered? Because I didn't have Smear the Queer in Florida. What kind of comment is that? I went to public school, okay? There's people, lots of crazy shit was going on. That was just not one of them. Some of these things, I know it's hard to believe. Some of these things are regional. So.
Oh my God, these numbers are going up fast, Sitch. This is working.
Nice. Look at that.
I haven't refreshed it. Look, you only know if you go to the website or you're actually backing the book, but I think we've got a few new backers already.
Nice. So. Remember, guys, this is your last chance to get this book, everybody. Your last chance.
It is. And the whole idea, if I have extra books in the end of this, I'm not going to be like, I'm going to package these up and mail them out piecemeal either. Like, I'm going to do this in a week. I'm going to package them up and ship them off in a week. I'm not going to so if I have, 50 books left over, I'm just going to burn them. I'm going to burn them in the backyard.
Wow. And you're going to film it.
Yeah, look, I will film it. I'll definitely film it. Well, this is the thing, because the less books, the more, it's like a collector's item, right? This is the problem. I don't know if you followed any of the Eric July drama with his book, but
no,
he did a campaign and I think he made $5 or $6 million. It was ridiculous. So he had books, he might have had 100,000 books printed up, right? We're getting 1,000 or 3,000 books printed up. So obviously, supply and demand. If you've got that many books, it's worth each one is not worth as much. This is 3,000 books. This is a rare work of art, obviously. So he ended up having a bunch of books left over because he massively overprinted. And then he decided to sell those books for $5 a book or something, or $6 a book, which is we're charging $25 a book. So that completely undercuts the value of the person that came in and bought the book for $25.
Oh,
right?
I see. Yeah, I see. Yeah.
I'd be fucking pissed. I'd be like, I spent $25 for the book and Adam came in and sold a bunch of books for $5. That's not going to happen. So if I have 50 books left over, well, look, I might give them out to my friends or family or whatever. But I don't have 50 friends, guys. It's pretty depressing around here. So.
You can give them out as Christmas gifts.
Yeah, look, this is not exactly, I don't know if you've seen this. One of these covers has 24 naked girls on it.
You don't want to give that out to your family for Christmas?
It's not the kind of thing. It's not the kind of thing I can give to my mom, right? So yeah. That's
like it.
that's going to be super rare because I think we're only printing like 300 of those books. So,
right.
But I do admire the fact that we do have at least 300 Dirty Birdie fans in our audience that want to buy the. And that's obviously the book that I'm going to keep. Let's be honest here.
Of course. I want you guys to know that was all Adam's idea. Okay, I never asked for this cover. I didn't want this cover whatsoever.
Oh, it's the best.
This is all Adam. Adam is the pervert, not me.
I have contemplated getting the S-Class cover put up on the wall back here because it's just so cool. But I thought Hutch is going to come by and report the stream for indecency. So who has watched the Hutch video? What do we know about it?
Yeah, what happens? What happened in this Hutch video?
Is
How are we breaking up everybody?
I would have Hutch on again, to be honest with you. So I think you would too, right?
Sure.
Talking to crazy leftists is, I mean, that's internet gold. All right. Let me see here.
Yeah, you read them. Gene, the other payment for $5 says, did you purposely pick a screenshot that looks like the caviar dog just sniffed her rose garden? Yes, Adam did that intentionally.
I did, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought maybe we should make this. Oh, that's unfortunate. That's Joe Biden there.
Cameraman 502 $5 says, however this election ends, the real tyranny has already begun. Here's off in the distance, all I want for Christmas. That's right.
Oh,
he's coming at him. The song, it's coming. It's coming for you.
Is it going to be? This is the thing. It's so weird that we have elections in November because it could just completely destroy people's holiday season, right?
Oh,
you're
that's
going
a good point,
home. You're going to hang out with the family. Like if Trump wins, obviously. Yeah. If Trump wins, your uncle who loves Trump is going to be rubbing it all in your face, talking about how, oh yeah, you better watch out that you don't get pregnant now that you can't get an abortion.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's going to be terrible.
The insufferableness. Look, that was a joke. Obviously, Trump has said many times he's not going to sign an abortion ban.
Well, it depends what state you're in. I mean, if you're in a red state.
Oh, yeah. But it's not going to be Trump's abortion ban, right?
We'll see. We'll see. Probably not, but we'll see. Wildman Go for $20. Thank you so much. Says, have you seen the Halloween Molebug meme? I have not. He reacts to greetings of trick-or-treaters by stuttering on how half measures, tricks, or treats don't work on entrenched power. This and his appearance causes all the kids to scream in horror.
Wow.
You know what's funny? I don't know if that's actually real or not. I don't know if you just made it up as a joke or if that's something that actually happened.
It has to be real.
I can believe it's real. I want to believe it's real. Lives in Deswall specifically for $2 says it's called a garbage can, not a garbage can not. That's stupid. Jeez.
Yes, we garbage can.
Yes, we can, man. J Mac, our ticket far, thanks so much for $20. Says just tuning in. Why is Biden devouring a baby?
Well, that's what he does.
He saw all those memes about like eating babies to keep you young, and he's decided to finally try them out. So
he's like, I'm still in this race. Don't fuck with me.
I just need some more power. Iguishid thank you so much, Iguishid for being 29 months of discipline equals freedom. Says, way to beat the spurious breakup allegations, y'all. Cooler heads will prevail. Just a bit more to go in this exhausting election season. If y'all broke up before I get the comic, I never forgive you.
No, you are going to get the comic.
Well, wait a minute. Hold on.
Sitch, do you remember how the comic ends, which is completely appropriate for this?
That's hilarious. You know what? I think we made a mistake here, Adam. Okay. We totally should have milked this. We should have broke up. Yes. That would have helped drive the sales of the comic because it would have made it more like a collector's edition, right?
It would have, yes.
It's like, look at this comic. It represents a time of a past long gone when Sitch and Adam were still together.
It's true. Yeah. I still have to make up stickers and trading card.
Oh God.
Like,
welcome to another 6 months. Just kidding. Fondue for $2 says even the kid is questioning what the hell is doing. Oh yeah, with the little baby. He's like, what is happening here? Why is this old man trying to eat / circumcise me?
Ouch.
Tom waiting for $5 says which one of your sexy viewers suggested this video in a super chat last stream? That's a good question, Tom. I think it was a guy named Matt Going. Matt Going, yeah, I think that was the guy. Just kidding, it was Tom, obviously. Dr. Diller, thanks so much for 31 months of Free Will Seeker says, we love you, Sitch. S-Class is a best class.
Sweet. And of course,
Adam's all right
A-Team
too, I
reigns
guess.
supreme, right? Oh.
Adam is all right too, I guess.
Oh, that's nice. Dr. Diddler's great. I don't mind that he's S-Class. I mean, I think he's like an S-Class private, right?
He is. No, he's an S-Class general. How dare you?
A general? What?
Yeah, he's a general. Yeah.
S-Class has generals?
S-Class has many generals.
S-Class is a kind of outfit that you have to bring your own weapons.
Wait a minute. No. This is bullshit. S-Class is a highly elite hierarchical organization.
Fighting force.
You over here, just like every single A-Team member is a fucking brigadier 4-star general. Like every single person is the same top tier rank. So the ranks have no meaning or purpose.
Right. Yes, but that means we're all elite.
That's anarchy. Okay.
Oh, look at this. I like this next super chat.
Ace for $5 says Destiny's orbit is so cancerous they see every dispute as the end of the world. God, they have catty chick behavior to the nth degree.
True. Yeah.
There you go.
It's all that estrogen energy floating around the orbit.
Wow.
Yeah. That's the estrogen cloud.
Fondue for $2 says Sargon's quote wouldn't even jokes are in high demand.
Oh,
See,
yeah.
that's what Ryan should have said. He should have said Israel wouldn't even beep you.
Oh yeah.
That's a good one. You're like, is that offensive? I don't know. Like, how do you interpret that one? That's pretty funny.
I do feel bad for the guy. It's just, it's so unfair. It's just structural unfairness. Everyone can see it, but progressives, it's so strange because they're the ones that march around talking about, you know, the marginalization of people is invisible to the elite class, right?
Mm-hmm.
The irony, the irony. The people that march around and call everyone Nazis can't see that they're the ones marginalizing people.
Right. Ryan Wool for $10 says, with these recent podcast appearances by Vance, if he were running, I'd vote for him. I still plan on not voting for president and just voting for my state reps and local government positions. Cheers to friendship. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Vance, I mean, I do hope Vance wins because, like, that's the closest I'm going to come to
custodial voting not ever going to be a thing because it's
custodial voting being talked about at least.
Mm-hmm.
Did you listen to how much of the Joe Rogan podcast did you listen to with JD Vance?
I listened to like 75% of it.
Yeah. So he talks about a lot of stuff that are policies we talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. It's funny because I put out a tweet where I said, after listening to it for like 5 minutes, I was like, holy shit, like JD Vance totally killing it in the interview.
Yeah, I saw that.
Comes off very personable in the conversation, especially like most importantly in the first 5 minutes. He comes off very, very personable, comes off very like a normal person, which is important because a lot of people probably going to listen to the first 5 minutes and then, turn it off because it's like 3 hours. And I was just listening to this and I was like, Jesus, Kamala's such a fucking idiot. Because not only does she not go on herself and she has this opportunity to try to pick up male votes and I do think that she could have pulled votes by being on Joe Rogan if she had a good performance. I mean, that's the big if, right? If she had a good performance.
Well, that's one of the things that makes me think she's winning.
I don't, maybe, but I mean, it's possible. You think like the internal polling is showing that there's no reason for her to do it. And that's why.
Yeah, that's that. And also I think Trump was sending tweets out saying, oh, there's shenanigans going on in Pennsylvania.
Right.
And I was just like, oh, please. Like, just save it, because I don't know how that. I mean, doesn't help him with moderates, right? If he's trying to get moderates in at the last minute here,
No,
like
but
that's
it could make
just.
sure he's trying to make sure he gets his supporters to go out because they'll be so afraid of like the
Oh,
thing.
is that what it is? Okay,
Yeah,
enticing his voters to get to the polls.
right.
Okay, well, it just seems. I mean, that's a way double-edged sword there. That's a high risk maneuver.
Yeah.
I
mean,
guess it's high risk
Mhm.
for her not to go on Rogan if she's down in the polls, right?
If she's, I mean, I guess you're correct. If she's down the polls, it would have made sense for her to go on Rogan. If she thinks she's ahead in the polls and feels like she can only lose ground by going on Rogan. But I mean, that's sort of, that's the whole playing, you gotta, the best defense is a strong offense. Like, I don't think that's a good idea unless she would just, which is very possible, she would just be so bad on the show that it would really hurt her, which is always possible because she's
And
so bad at speaking for some reason.
she's got a perfect out for her base, because they'll just say, "Oh yeah, it's a racist platform. You can't go on there anyway." So
Right.
what are you doing?
Yeah, but then but Trump keeps capitalizing. Whoever's like helping Trump his campaign or running his campaign is pretty smart because they keep capitalizing on every mistake that Kamala's making. Like, they have him go to McDonald's. They have him dress up in the garbage truck thing. They have JD Vance go take her spot on Joe Rogan and kill it. So
yeah, definitely.
it's also funny too that like when I said that JD Vance killed it on Joe Rogan, even though I still don't like JD Vance just because he has a good performance. I'm just saying what happened. There's a bunch of people that reply. They're like, "Oh my God, Sitch mascot. I knew he was a Trump supporter this whole time."
Because you did the JD Vance tweet.
Yeah, because I said he did good on Joe Rogan and Kamala was stupid for not going on it. I'm just like shaking my head.
Oh my
Like,
God.
all right. Some people just, they're so programmed in. Ace for $5 says, I love that Mehdi didn't deny having a beeper in the first place. Makes sense for pro-Hamas types. Terrible. How dare you?
Oh, wow.
The Wooster for $5 says, the Richard Spencer argument becomes moot when you consider he's a Harris supporter. He's a Harris supporting Democrat now. LMAO. Yeah, I mean, that definitely does hurt that. So. Fondue for $5 says, I don't think so, Sitch. Quote, they aren't Nazis. They are just Nazi supporters. Isn't much better for half of the country getting maligned. Yeah, if that's what he said, I think you can comment. I understand what you're saying. I think you can say that you think like the candidate is a Nazi or a fascist or whatever without saying, I think everyone that supports them is like a knowing Nazi supporter. Maybe some people mean it that way. I think you can mean it like, well, obviously they don't perceive it that way. That's why they're not, they're not supporting them thinking they're a Nazi or a fascist or whatever. Satan for $2 says JMac family confirmed fascist Nazis. I knew it. We all knew it. We all did know it. It was a matter of time. Arm off for $2 says Mehdi is care. Muslim Brotherhood, the enemy within. Okay. I don't know what that means. I know you're talking about the Council of American Islamic Relations. I don't really know anything about them. Loner Renault for $10 says, I am the hope of the universe. I am the answer to all living things that cry out for peace. I am the protector of the innocent. I am the light in the darkness. I am truth, allied to the good and nightmare to you.
Wow.
There you go.
That's epic.
Does Goku say that speech in Japanese, or is that just like a weird
English
Goku
dub
speech
thing?
So I always thought, I'm going to be real with you. I always thought that was a real lame Goku speech.
Oh, you didn't? Oh, you sold it though. You totally sold it.
Thank you.
Goku's not cool.
Goku's not a speech guy. He's not really like a guy who cares about like justice or grand ideas about fucking anything. So for him to kind of like throw out this speech, it's just strange. It seems very un-Goku-esque. So JMac, our Soga follower for $20. Thank you so much. Says someone on Twitter was calling me out for supporting you guys.
No
so
way.
Are you,
what?
It's hilarious. So are you Nazis because of my support, or am I now a Nazi for supporting you? Which one of us is a proverbial Nazi egg and Nazi chicken?
Oh.
Well, obviously, JMac. Okay, this is like a Tenet Media situation. You're really like the secret Nazi, also Russian funder who's been funding this whole time. And so you're just like a like JMac isn't a real person. What was the Lieutenant Media guy's name? Gregorian. Remember they had like the fake resume
Gregorian
picture? Yeah, he's like the fake billionaire.
You're the Gregorian. J-Max R. Gregorian.
J-Max R. Gregorian. He's like, that picture is fake. All the pictures we've seen of J-Mac with his family, it's all fake. They're all AI. It's just some sort of like Russian bot farm somewhere just sending us a bunch of money.
I should bring up the book. I don't know if I know how to do that. The book that I read of J-Mac's granddad, because a bunch of people in the comments, when it got mentioned before, wanted to buy it. They wanted a copy of the book.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Let me see if I can figure that out. You have
I'm
a
sure
question?
J-Mac knows the name of the book.
No, he doesn't.
He
He made me look it up. No, I'm just
okay.
kidding. I'm kidding. I'm sure he does. Maybe I should just wait for him. Let's see if he puts it in the chat before I can find it.
Right. The IJP Mexican says that Goku does say something similar in Japanese, and it was out of character in the original as well. Interesting. Yeah, it is weird. Very strange. So, from junk to gold, John
There we
Watt
go.
says, from junk to gold. So that's
That's
J-Mac's
it.
grandfather. If you want to read J-Mac's grandfather's book.
From junk to gold. And it reads like a Hollywood movie. It really does. Because it is that traditional rags to riches story that we all love as Americans, right? That's the American dream. Yeah.
It is. It is.
Definitely
super
is.
based. Eagle Shit Ox for $2 says, Adam, right now, does Amber Duke have limbo rings?
Well, I brought up a picture here. Amber Duke's.
Why did you bring up a picture?
Amber Duke's limbo ring game.
Yeah.
Non-existent.
Wow.
Completely non-existent. So
you're right. She's got the dark eyes. No limbo rings.
Yeah. So
Terrible. Terrible.
there you go. I mean, she's evil, she's
right?
attractive. She's definitely like she's not a uggo.
Wow. But, look at Adam here being a sexist pig. Jesus.
Well, I think she's married because when I Googled some pictures, it looked like I saw some in wedding dresses. So, guys, she's off the market. But we checked, no limbo rings.
Terrible, terrible. Nobody's perfect. I don't think I really have. We'll do for the face reveal. I don't think my limbo rings are really on point either.
Look, I don't have a strong limbo ring game either, so. But I do notice it.
Those of us cursed with dark eyes.
And the female lead in the book, I made sure those limbo rings pop. Of course.
Of course.
But look, I can character design, right?
That's true.
Tom Waiting.
Tom Waiting for $2 says Amber tweeted about this.
Yes.
About our stream or about just talking about the
talking about the clip, yeah.
Yeah. It was pretty, I mean, Amber did a fantastic job, so.
She did, yeah. Definitely. She's been on other stuff on the Hill too, so.
Let's see. Lethal Strain for $5 says, look up Amber Drake on X and see all the protected accounts. The outrage was real. Wait, what does that mean? Oh, you mean all the people complaining about it? They all have their own accounts protected. Oh, interesting. Interesting.
Oh, really?
Not surprising, though. Fed Zeppelin for $10 says, Raccoon Buffoon versus Sun No You is glorious. Thank you for the entertainment, boys. Wow, look at that. I like that. Raccoon Buffoon. That's a good one. Lives in Devs, Wall specifically for $2 says, glad to know I can blame demons for being a pervert. That's right, guys. Whenever you're caught whacking it, just blame the demons. Okay, you're never at fault.
Does that work?
I don't know. I'll have to try it.
I don't think that's gonna work, Sitch.
You have to try it with your wife and let us know, Adam.
What if she already knows I'm a pervert?
Well, obviously you were possessed by it at a young age. Okay.
What if I've already been outed?
Uh-huh.
Look at this. Junk to gold. I brought up the book cover.
Tom waiting for $2 says Tucker and Hunter Biden were BFFs. No, seriously. Really? I didn't know that. It's
No,
hilarious.
they weren't.
And not listen, it's not surprising.
That can't
Okay,
be true.
I'm sure that was part of, when Tucker was possessed by the gay demon. He was, doing sus stuff with Hunter Biden. Lucifer Dorman for 10 Canadian says, skip my 31-month milestone. This is why my new puppy is totally A-team. Also, Sitch, Tucker lives out a ranch in the woods. This is likely out in his yard. First of all, where did I skip your? I must have missed it. Well, sorry if I missed it. I don't know if there's a way for me to see milestones on the channel at all. So it's been lost to time. But thank you for supporting us for 31 months, Lucifer. Number 2, if that's out in his yard, that's fine. He still doesn't have to LARP like he's a country boy with his outfit. Like that's what's ridiculous about the whole thing. So
yeah, you got to get those country clothes dirty, otherwise it doesn't even count.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, he just bought those, and they look too clean, too nice.
Brand new jacket straight out of Walmart. Hell no.
Right. Plaid, really? Come on.
We almost got 10 new backers here.
Look at that.
And we're up to $75,000.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice. Remember, guys, last chance. Last chance. Gotta buy the comic. Buy all the comics. Don't you want? Listen, I wasn't going to tell you this, guys.
Mm-hmm.
If you buy the comic with the perverted naked women on the cover,
mm-hmm.
Adam has used special free will, special S-Class A-Team free will engraved ink that actually, when you buy it, it creates an invisible magic protective circle that if you have that book nearby when you sleep, protect you from all demonic attacks. Okay.
Right.
All demonic attacks will be prevented by owning a copy of Supervillains Anonymous.
Yes. When this book is within 2 feet of you, it's impossible to get caught jerking off.
No. Wait a minute. That's not true.
It's a safety shield.
No. That is, first of all, we can have to advertise honestly. Okay. This book, if you're masturbating, you will get caught. Okay. But this book will protect you from demonic attacks. Okay. We've engraved special free will magic circles in it that will protect you from all demonic attacks in a 10-foot radius.
Oh, that's great.
Ryan and Wool for $5 says, Sitch, what are these various sources you have on sex demons? Don't worry about it. Okay. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. How many sex demons have you had sex with? What's your spiritual count?
Listen, obviously, I'm a good boy. I'm a pure soul. I'm saving myself for marriage. And since I'm not married, I've obviously never had sex before. I'm a virgin. I'm pure soul.
What's your spirit count? I bet it's in
0.
triple digits.
It is 0, obviously. Okay. 0. Joe the Meg for 31 months says, did someone say 31 months? How's it going, Lucifer? Cheers, fellas.
Yeah. How's that puppy?
Yeah.
Oh, I think he just told us.
I think he just told us. Yeah.
Do you have does S-Class even have a puppy? I mean, A-Team has a puppy.
I do not have any pets.
Oh, brutal.
No, I had to get a hyperallergenic one. So, because I had the
that does suck.
So, Metal Rules 81 for $5 says, notice in the clip, Mehdi just assumed Ryan had called him an anti-Semite despite not knowing anything about him. There you go. Gaming Trucker JS for $5 says, by the way, guys, the reason you couldn't watch Jubilee was because your stream was monetized. Oh, you have to unmonetize it?
Really?
I think it's just because we listened to that clip for too long. So.
Yeah, we're doing pretty good. We made it 50 minutes.
Right. JMac for $20. Thanks so much. I took it for a day. JMac for $20 says, Tucker mauled and scratched up on bed with 4 dogs. Sounds like someone applied the peanut butter a little too liberally. There it is.
Oh my God.
There it is.
You think Tucker did the peanut butter on the dong thing?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Dirty birdie.
He might have. I mean, that's the explanation, right? So. Lives in Deswell specifically for $2. Says getting exorcism gear for Dev. Wish me luck. Good luck. He's gonna need it to exercise you. All right. Lethal Strain for $5 says never mind. On last super chat, I misspelled it. What did you? Oh, okay. Never mind. That was the protected accounts on Twitter thing. Oh, I might have to refresh. I don't think I can use Google Chrome anymore for YouTube. For some reason, the memory leaks are insane. This was never a problem until like a month or two ago. So it must have changed something. Don't know why. You would assume that Google would make sure its own browser works efficiently and effectively
with YouTube, since
with
it's
YouTube.
A YouTube product.
It's a YouTube product.
Or the browser is a Google product and YouTube is a Google product.
You would think.
You would think, yeah.
Sketch for $5 says Tucker Carlson clearly developed an obsession with playing Doom and had an "oh my god, I'm him" moment. There you go. He obviously thought he was the Doom Marine. Loser Doman for 5 Canadian says, as someone with a new puppy, they do have very sharp nails that can easily make marks on you. Also, hunting dogs are used to collectively stuff owners. What? Hunting dogs are used to collect, or used to. Oh, I see. Hunting dogs are used to collecting stuff owners shoot. Oh, I get it. Terrible.
That's
terrible. Oh, terrible. Alex Wright for $5 says, do you guys think this guy in the 1975 trucker hat is buying any of Tucker Carlson's Demon Time story?
Hell no.
Yeah, it seems kind of bullshit. He seemed kind of suspect on the whole thing, so.
The Chris. Oh, it's not Chris. The Adam Sandler lookalike.
He doesn't look like Adam Sandler. What are you talking about?
I almost said Chris Tucker lookalike, which would have been
He doesn't
funny.
look like Chris Tucker either. He doesn't look like anybody. What the hell?
He looks exactly like Chris Tucker.
Oh my god. Now we know Adam is really colorblind. Madney 85 for $5 says, have you decided who you're voting for, Adam?
Not yet.
Candace Owens.
Between Candace Owens and Kanye West.
Candace Owens, man.
Think that'll be a good meme? I don't know.
I think it would be a good meme, yeah. Adam is out here trying to make black people go Nazi. It's terrible. What a racist. Mr. Middleman for $5 says, do you guys think X's community notes will help to stop fake election fraud claims, or Trump fanatics turn on Elon and the platform over it? Oh,
That's
shit.
a
I didn't
good
even
question.
think about that.
That's a good question.
Oh my God.
But
That's
don't they just have to
hilarious.
link to some blog post or something, so someone could just put up a blog post saying, look at all these fake electors?
If
like some mainstream media news source is going to say, look, there was no election fraud, and they're going to post a blog post claiming there is. So they're going to community note that shit.
It's going to be interesting because if Harris wins, I mean, it's going to be an all-out war, bloodbath, because there's people.
Did you say bloodbath?
I did. I said a bloodbath. I know.
Oh no.
Bloodbath in the community notes, because I know there's a bunch of people who on the left and on the right who are both in the community notes program, and they're all going to be fighting each other. It's going to be like a Wikipedia edit wars on X, and then it's going to put Elon in like this really weird position, because obviously he's like so massively pro-Trump. Is he going to actually just, if Trump is making a bunch of bullshit election fraud claims, is Elon just going to sit there and let it all get noted, or is he going to intervene? And if he does intervene, it's going to make him look terrible. So
that's a terrible situation to be in, because I mean, Elon, if Harris wins, like the gloves are off for Elon, right? I mean, they're going to be out to get Elon.
Yeah, it's going to.
This is like a very high risk scenario going on.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Fuck.
It is true.
I wonder if Harris wins, if Tesla stock is going to tank. I never considered that.
Ace for $5 says, I'm sad that Eurydite is becoming Destiny's top glazer. What a waste of talent and self-respect, and stands by him no matter what.
Well, she's in bed with him financially, right? She's done a podcast for him.
Do they still do that podcast?
I think so. Yeah.
No. I don't even know
been
what
very
Ace's...
successful. I mean,
right. I'm not sure what I don't really follow Not So Erudite, so I don't even know what Ace is referring to. But
I mean, I should look. A lot of people come in here and go, "Well, it's more popular than your podcast." Yeah, it is, but I mean, it's not near as popular as just Destiny's live stream. So,
right.
Yeah, if you're usually when you're in working on something like this, you want to engage in some sort of venture that's going to be more, bring you more attention, not really just cut your audience in half.
Chicken Marsala for $5 says, you guys see the polls have never underestimated a candidate in 3 elections in a row. So it seems like pollsters are finally figuring it out. Well, we shall see. We shall see.
Yeah. They don't want to get hit with the "you fucked up" stick.
Right. Edward Sr. for $5 says, well, who's going to voice the audiobook?
I mean, we would, obviously.
Both of us.
Sitch and I have talked about doing book 2 as a novel.
A light novel.
Right. What's the difference?
Well, light novels are usually smaller.
Light novels made
like
of light.
pictures in it.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So yeah, like it wouldn't be a comic, but it'd have like pictures in it, and then we could have an audiobook format where we read it. So that'd be fun.
We roughed out book 2 already, and I think it's like a Star Wars Empire Strikes Back type situation where it's difficult for me to decide like which book I like better, book 1 or book 2. So
interesting. But
book 2 will be out in 2029. So
book 2 will be out before the Winds of Winter. Okay.
Well, look, this
Game of Thrones book.
This book took me 3 years. Like, I had a lot of personal stuff going on this year. I also have never done a comic book before. So, and I wanted to do something that I could be proud of, that I think looks amazing and is amazing. So I think the story is great. I think it's really got like economy of storytelling where you don't have anything in there that's wasted space or wasted. Like, it's very, very tight narrative storytelling, which is good. So same with the second book.
Ag Lahir for 24 months. Thanks so much for being 2 years of Free Will Seeker. Look at that. Says 2 years of S-Class being a best class. Thanks, guys, for all the content. Well, thank you for the support.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
Brian for $10 says the popular vote compact is a partisan agreement among left-leaning states. There's no way they would implement this if a Republican wins the popular vote, but Democrats won the Electoral College. Yeah, I can't imagine. That would be like insane if that happened. I can't imagine them doing that. So
the chances of that happening, though, the Republicans,
are very low.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, that's like a never going to happen type scenario.
Jose Calehero for $2 says in Florida they play Crater the Gator.
What is that true?
No, but I like it. That's a good name, Crater the Gator. So
when you run over a gator in the street or something.
There you go. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I went to both my elementary school. I don't know how many kids there was. There was a lot. There's hundreds of kids. It was large. My middle school and high school, I think, had probably both over 1,000 kids. So I went to large schools. I was in Boy Scouts. We were very not politically correct in those days, obviously. We played lots of games that had lots of suspect names, but none of them were Smear the Queer. So.
Smear the Queer is not suspect.
No, but I mean, like back in those days, gay was the go-to insult that we would toss out like candy.
Right.
So, it's not like anyone in our school or Boy Scout troop would have been offended to use the term "smear the queer." It just wasn't a thing.
Do you think the F slur is going to make a comeback? I notice a lot of people are using the F slur very.
Really?
Yeah, we've gotten streams taken down for the F slur. So not that we said it, like
we're watching like a video.
Sargon has been on before.
Oh,
Sargon is known to throw out.
Thanks, Carl.
The F slur from time to time. Yeah. But I do hear other content creators using it. And there's that.
I don't think so. I don't think it's going to make a comeback. Retard made a comeback, and that's fine. I don't think.
Who is? there's one content creator, this woman content creator. I think she's been on Timcast a bunch of times, but Melanie Mack, I think that's her name. Where that is like her big thing. Like people who know Melanie Mack know her because she throws around the F slur. Like she comes out and just like labels you.
Right.
So, but that makes me think, oh, well, maybe it will make a comeback. I don't know. Is the gay community against it?
I would imagine.
It's just a bunch of nerds.
I don't think they're taking it back.
Okay.
Feds Up and for $5 says, I played Smear the Queer as a kid in Texas. It's tag, but you tackle people instead of touching them. A-team drank water from the hose. Is that true, Adam?
I have drank. Look, who hasn't drank water? You've drank water from the hose. Get out of here.
Of course I have. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're outside. You don't want to go back inside.
Of course. You're like, I'm going to get one of those.
You're like
I'm
a
gonna
young
get one of those
child.
rubber tasting water.
Yeah, it's horrible. Yeah.
Ugh.
Oh, God.
You're like, hot rubber water.
I know. It's
gross.
Disgusting. Liz and Deswall specifically for $10 says, I phrased it poorly. What happens if Trump wins the popular vote, but would lose the electoral vote? Except that, oh yeah, this is what Ryan was talking about. Except the NPVIC forces the states to vote for him. How do you think people react? I think, I just can't imagine. Number one, I mean, obviously it seems unlikely. Number two, I bet you, that would actually be funny because I bet you there would be some sort of like alternate electors. Like they would just, this is what I think would happen. I think the legislatures and the governors of the states, if it was a Democrat state, they would just overrule this law and they would just say, fuck this. We're just going to send in what the voters said.
He would have to massively run up the score in California, New York, Texas. I guess it wouldn't matter in Texas, but if he ran up the score so much in California, why wouldn't he just flip the state?
Right. But I'm saying theoretically, if it happened, yeah, I can't imagine a scenario where the blue states would go along with it. They would just they just say throw that shit in the trash and just go with a popular vote for their state. The Rooster for $5 says Buzz Aldrin endorsed Trump. That's all you need to know when wondering who to vote for this election season. Go out and vote people Trump 2024. Well, there you go. Buzz Aldrin. I didn't know that. Interesting. The astronaut.
I think Anna Kasparian said on the Young Turks that she didn't want Kamala Harris to win. I think it caused.
Oh, she did. That's hilarious.
Yeah. I was like,
uh-oh. I bet that caused a firestorm of
yeah. We gotta find that clip. Someone told me about it, so.
Dollar Always for $5 says Adam, quote, talking to crazy leftists is internet gold. 5 seconds into talking to a leftist. Fuck you all. I mean, that is the internet gold. What are you talking about?
Yeah, that's what people want to see. They want to see me rage quit. Come on.
Right.
Everyone who watches the show knows I'm a diva. Of course I'm gonna fucking rage quit. What do you think?
Ryan Uhl for $5 says thoughts on the Vatican's new anime mascot Loose. I did see there's this big meme. I don't know if you saw it, Adam. The Vatican came up with a new anime mascot. Did you see it?
No.
You type
really? The Vatican? Yeah. Get out of here.
The
Bullshit.
Vatican. This is 100% real.
Oh.
This is 1,000 million% a real story. Okay.
Anytime somebody says this is 1,000%
no, I'm serious. Listen, I just sent you a picture. This is
Be skeptical.
I should have sent you a picture of like the porn people were drawing of it. Then I would have completed the troll. No, I'm being 100% sincere. This is a real thing. Completely a real thing.
This is the Vatican's.
This is the Vatican's
avatar.
Anime mascot avatar.
Okay, here it is. What's the joke?
There's no joke. This is real.
Okay. Is that
okay?
The blood of Christ on her boots?
I think this is honestly, I think it's a terrible design for a character. I think it's terrible. You got
blue hair.
I mean, you got the big anime eyes. That's fine. You got the blue hair. That's fine. But like the raincoat's stupid.
Right.
A big yellow, ugly raincoat and muddy boots. I'm not feeling
what's
it.
that all about?
It's supposed to be like that she's an explorer or something. Like, I don't know, running around exploring and proselytizing, maybe.
Proselytizing?
I couldn't
saving people.
And then also loose, which I believe means light in Italian or something. Sounds way too close, which I guess makes sense now that I think about it. Is way too close to Lucifer. They named their little anime girl too close to Lucifer, which means Lightbringer, so I guess that's why. But still, bad name, bad character design. I don't like it. Not a fan. Not a fan. Okay. Creature JK for 5 Canadian says, to be fair to Mehdi, he had super based performance against a Chinese diplomat a few months ago. He was super based defending liberal democracy. That is true. I do have to give him credit for that. I did see that clip. Ashi for $5 says, we all know why you said JD Vance did well. It's all about the tie game. I don't even remember what fucking tie JD Vance was wearing in that interview.
He had a good tie on. Really?
Trump had a terrible tie
on Rogan.
Yeah, it was like this big, ugly yellow tie. It's really gross.
A yellow tie?
It was a yellow tie, yeah.
What was he thinking?
So he's got like a purple tie. Okay, I like purple ties. Purple ties are always based. There you go. Maybe that was it. I think part of the reason I thought he did well is because I didn't look at it. I just listened to it. Something, I don't know what. I can't 100% figure it out. Something about JD Vance's appearance like unsettles me when I hear him talking. If I hear him talk with no picture, sounds totally normal. But when I see him talk, there's something there triggering me that I don't know on some deep emotional level. I can't figure it out. Because nothing
just don't like him?
No, like something makes it seem weird when I see him talk. And I literally like looked at it for like not with the Joe Rogan thing, but in the past with other things, like 20 minutes trying to figure out like what the fuck is making me feel this way. And I couldn't really figure it out. So
yeah, I like him. I think he seems like a.
But if I hear him, if I just hear him,
normal dude,
that doesn't. I don't have that emotional reaction. So.
And he was talking. I mean, I kept thinking, okay, the trans people are going to go crazy over this podcast, right?
Right.
But did they? I'm not sure that they did.
Yes.
Maybe it's just invisible. It's not in the mainstream media.
Yeah.
It doesn't blow up. That's a good thing, right?
Yes. I'm just saying yes.
He's like, women in sports is bad. They talked about that for a long time.
They did talk about that, yes.
Women shouldn't be in sports ever. Only men.
Crooked Smile for $5 says, Tim Walz looks like Floyd from Courage the Cowardly Dog. You're right. You were completely correct. No wonder he always looked familiar to me, and I couldn't put my finger on it. Mr. Middleman for...
I'll never forget Tim Walz from the debate. He just has that startled face, and I can't imagine that face being president.
Mr. Middleman for $2 says, Sam Bucket Cedar was on Timcast today. Was awesome. Yeah, I listened to part of it before we started streaming, so... I don't know, maybe
jumped down Tim's throat immediately.
He immediately did, yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe we'll cover on Sunday or not. Ew, people in the chat are all pushing their weird Sitch / JD homoerotic fan fictions that they've now created in their head. Very disturbing.
JD's married, so you might want to chill, Sitch.
I'm not the one pushing the fanfics. This is obviously degenerates in the chat here. Zerg1337 for 15 Aussie bucks says, hey guys, Walpole had a meltdown. It's trending on X.
Washington Post did? Really? Didn't they lose 300 or 200,000 subscribers or something like that because they wouldn't endorse Kamala Harris? Did you hear about that?
I sent you the clip. You can watch it. Unless you got to go.
No, I'm good.
Overboard.
I'm good unless you got to go.
4 minutes. So no, I'm okay. So we'll check it out. Thanks. Back Health 101 for $2. Thank you for the heart. Gotta keep your back healthy. Pachongo for $5 says, waited long enough that getting the 4 covers was worth it. There you go. The wait just makes it even better.
Nice. I can't wait to get that big stack of books. I'll take a picture.
Kissel for 25 PLNs says, I like how the lady kept bringing up the article to link him to Spencer, but when Medi's pass is brought up, she says, quote, we're talking about the CNN clip. Very true.
This is so bad faith. So
It
bad
is.
faith.
Paul Johnson, thanks so much for the 4 months. Says, glad to see Daddy S and Daddy A made up. Of course. Always.
Yeah.
Forever. Sitch and Adam forever. Okay.
I would tell you guys not to worry about it, but when we break up next month, I want you to worry about it. You should worry about it.
There you go.
You should constantly live in fear that
In total
mommy and
fear.
daddy are going to fucking break up, okay?
True.
This marriage is on the rocks.
It's all your fault. Child/chat. It's all chat's fault. If me and Adam ever
Exactly.
break up, chat, we want you to know that it was your fault. Okay. You did this
Exactly.
to us. You broke us apart.
I mean, chances are they probably did, or are somewhat responsible.
Exactly. Exactly.
You
Actually,
and your nasty claim. Why you gotta be such a nasty chat?
Exactly.
So nasty. Who am I? Who am I doing? Who's my impression of? Such a nasty journalist. You know,
Yes,
hello.
you're doing a nice Trump. Nice little Trump
No
impression.
hi. No, how are things going? Just so nasty.
See, Tim should have said that to Sam Cedar, like right in the beginning.
Oh, I know. That would have been great. Why are you so nasty? Why are you being so nasty? I invite
nice,
you on, and you're just nasty immediately. No hello, no hi.
Mm-hmm.
Nasty.
Ostracy for $5 says the Popular Vote Act requires 270 worth of delegates to agree before it takes effect. Currently, it's at 200 or something. Oh, okay. So there's no, even if theoretically, hypothetically, Trump won the Electoral College. I'm sorry, if he won the popular vote but lost the Electoral College, it still wouldn't make a difference. So,
Let me run to the bathroom real quick. I'll be right back.
okay, you were in the bathroom. Arnaud Zoro is here for $10. Says, go on EFAP and show your book. I remember chat asked years ago when you go on EFAP and do that, and you guys said it was when it was close to being done. By the way, watch Dev's new Trump video, and it was good. Yeah, maybe we'll do that. I know we did it in the past, like 2 years ago or something, but yeah, maybe do it again. And yeah, I saw the first, again, I haven't finished it. I saw like the first half of Dev's like 3.5 hour long Trump video, and it's very good. I do need to watch the rest of it. So let me open the Streamlabs over here. I'll wait for Adam to get back from the bathroom. Dr. Diddler for $2 says, Destiny being a bad faith shithead. No way. My first intro to him was when he debated Sargon back when and kept going out of his way to be a nasty bitch. Wow. Not much has changed but his ego, which got bigger. Yeah, I haven't seen the conversation Adam was referring to. I'm curious to check it out. The Destiny. What's her
Batya
name?
thing?
Batya.
Yeah.
Batya.
Batya.
Her name is also
Sargon.
Sargon.
Yeah.
Right.
Batya.
Dr. Diller for $2 says, I refuse to vote Trump, but I'm leading to favor him winning. Number one, because he'll be out of politics. That's true. Number two, Democrats getting the first minority and woman to office would turn the insufferable leader to 13.
We were talking yesterday, and we had difficulty kind of predicting which way wokeness would be worse with Kamala Harris, because obviously, like, she's going to have her base pushing her to do a bunch of woke policies. Part of me thinks it's like a 50-50 whether or not Harris wins and she goes completely mask off. She's just been like holding her tongue since she started running, and she reverts back to her normal form, right? And just complete wokeness. She has woke policies that 25,000 business loans for black men. Obviously, that's unconstitutional. There's no way that can happen. So how's she going to keep that campaign promise? Or if Trump wins, if just, the woke people go hysterical and think we live in Nazi Germany. So culturally, they're in every single classroom trying to indoctrinate their kids about how we're living through the next Nazi Holocaust.
Right. And I'll say it here, you can clip it because there's going to be like 1,000 people that leave me nasty comments completely misrepresenting my position.
What was the position? Did I miss something while I was going?
No, not you. But I'm saying this is what's good, because I've said this and people are always going to keep misrepresenting it. If Harris wins, I do think that she will enact woke government policies. And I think
Right.
wokeness in government and in law will increase. But what I said I didn't know, what I think will happen is that culturally, wokeness is going down culturally right now. And I think it will continue to go down if Harris wins, that the cultural power of wokeness will go down, even if the legal government power goes up. And if Trump wins, it'll be the reverse. The government legal power of wokeness will go down, but the cultural power of wokeness has a good chance of going back up.
Yeah, Trump is going to fire off a bunch of executive orders for no critical race theory, no trans women in sports.
Right. He'll undo some woke stuff that they probably did, when Biden was president.
Yeah.
So, no, just because I'm saying this now because I know there's going to be like every time, if Kamala wins, if every time she passes some woke executive order, people are going to go, Sitch, you Sitch. I'm going to be like, oh my God.
But they can't say you voted for Kamala, though. Thank goodness.
That's true.
They're going to be like, oh my God, Kamala voter.
It doesn't matter.
So annoying. It is annoying, though. It's not like you. It's not like you single-handedly.
I don't know if you guys know this.
My
vote is worth 10,000, 100,000 people's votes. Okay, I personally got Joe Biden into office in 2020. I don't know if you know this. I rigged all the ballots.
We did a poll, and it's like it said that we have 600 swing voters in Pennsylvania right now. So I do think all of those voters should vote for Trump. So
why?
Nah, look, they'll be like,
how dare you? I think they should all vote for Candace Owens, obviously.
600 Trump voters in Pennsylvania. They're like,
we need
oh my
more.
God.
Listen, we need more energy. Like Adam, when he votes for a black person, it's like Goku forming a spirit bomb. A spirit bomb of Nazism that he's going to smash into their psyche.
I've only voted for one black person that actually became president. That's Barack Obama. But
yeah, the other black person you voted for became a Nazi. So.
I know. So look.
So it's a 50-50 chance.
Yeah, true.
So for every person that votes for Candace Owens, it's like you're sending more energy towards Adam's like spirit bomb that he's going to dunk on Candace Owens' head that's going to make her become a Nazi in 2 years. That's how it works. Arithmus for $2 says, hey, Adam, my theory of the Electoral College is that it broadens the range of issues that are important to the winning coalition. It incentivizes presidential candidates to consider more issues when making decisions.
I'm not sure that's the case, though, because it seems like, aren't there a lot of economic subsidies that go to family farms in like Iowa?
Well, that would be considered more. He didn't say better. He just says more, right?
And doesn't the Senate kind of deal with this issue? Don't we already have the Senate and the Electoral College is redundant?
Well, I guess to an extent for
the
legislature. Right now, it's supposed to be for the executive, though. So,
well, right now, I think I am agnostic. Obviously, I do believe in the Chesterton's fence philosophy. Maybe Chesterton is his last name, but Chesterton's fence is this concept of if you find a fence in the middle of the woods, you shouldn't take it down unless you know what it's doing. You know what function it is. So a lot of times things can appear to be not serving a function, but really they are. And I think that could be the case with the Electoral College. And me right now, I'm trying to look at the arguments in favor of the Electoral College and find out if they're true or not, right?
Right.
So a lot of people are giving me reasons that it exists. I don't know if they're accurate.
Mm-hmm.
Sitch wants to do away with the electoral. He wants to make it proportional, which,
yes,
I mean that's kind of an interesting intermediate step, but it's still not going to be perfect. A voter in Iowa's vote is still going to be worth more than a voter in California's vote. And I just think the fair thing is everybody's vote should count the same. Unless you have kids, and then you should get like 10 votes for each kid.
Terrible. Sulfur GR says the raincoat and muddy boots are supposed to represent a pilgrim traveling to a sacred shrine. There you go. Nice. Well, I still think it's lame, but I guess that makes sense. But still lame. Okay, anyway, let's watch this clip here. This is 4 minutes.
Oh, it's my
favorite. Supposedly some Washington Post live disaster thing.
It's my favorite.
I don't know what
This
happened
is
then.
Jonathan Capar, the guy that got me all triggered on the other video where I said, look, and Connor's on Twitter. How does he get all these likes on his tweets misrepresenting me? He got like 400 likes on a tweet.
It's from the Destiny orbiting community.
Oh, it is? Is that what it
Yes.
is? Oh, that's
Yes.
why he likes that community.
Right.
They don't watch his content or send him super chats or anything, but they like his tweet. Oh,
They like his
like, oh,
that's
great.
That's where it counts, right?
Yeah, no, that's not where it counts.
Oh, okay. Maybe you're right.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So he said, I want Trump to throw journalists in jail, which is not accurate. I said I wasn't going to cry when Trump throws journalists in jail. It's much
important
different,
distinction,
right?
huh?
Yeah, of course. Look, I don't want him to do that. I even said that in the live stream. I just said I was going to laugh when it happened.
There you go.
Clip it, Connor. You'll love it.
Anyway, you want to
Jonathan Capar. Let's imagine him in a solitary confinement while we watch this clip.
Okay.
Like this week.
Oh, you want to do a 3, 2, 1? 3, 2, 1, go.
Donald Trump is laying the groundwork for contesting the election by complaining that cheating was taking place in Pennsylvania by suing Bucks County for alleged irregularities. And this is on top of his continual assertion that if he loses, it's because of cheating.
Yeah, he's been laying the groundwork for this, just not in the last week, but in the last umpty-ump months. No election can be fair unless in Donald Trump's mind, unless Donald Trump wins it.
True.
And I think we are going to see him both rev up his supporters to contest elections outside of courtrooms and go to every courtroom he can in America where it's relevant to make whatever arguments he can, no matter how far-fetched. We saw
Jonathan,
that
I've
work
got
out last time, but it didn't work out this time. It may not work. That may not happen this time. And now I'll let you go, Hugh.
Well, I've just got to say, we're news people, even though we're at the opinion section. It's got to be reported. Bucks County was reversed by the court and instructed to open up extra days because they violated the law and told people to go home. So that lawsuit was brought by the Republican National Committee, and it was successful. The Supreme Court ruled that Glenn Youngkin was successful. We are news people, even though we have opinions, and we have to report the whole story if we bring up part of the story. So yes, he's upset about Bucks County, but he was right, and he won in court. That's the story.
Oh my God, he just spanked
I'll let you
him.
keep going, Jonathan.
No, I don't appreciate being lectured about reporting when many times you come here saying lots of things that aren't.
I will
based
come
in
back,
fact.
Jonathan. I'm
done.
Nice.
This is
Oh,
the most
yes.
unfair election ad I have ever been a part of. You guys are working. That's fine. I'm done.
Nice. Oh my God. Yes.
So, Ruth, you wrote a column this week ending with this line, and actually, I think this is perfect.
Stop
We're gonna.
I love this clip. Oh my God. He
That's
rage
crazy.
quit. Yes.
I mean, I don't even know anything about the story, so I don't know anything about the facts being discussed here, which I guess I should look into because that would determine who am I going to side here with in this conversation. But
he's like, you lying piece of shit.
Interesting. There you go.
I'm done. I'm done with you liars. Oh, Jonathan Capar. What? It was so nice that Jonathan Capar, we covered a clip of him the other day. He was the one talking about how the Trump rally at Madison Square Garden was a Nazi rally and comparing it to Adolf Hitler and showing footage from the actual Nazi rallies that took place at Madison Square Garden, which someone in the comment section was saying that it wasn't even Madison Square Garden. It was like 10 miles. The original Madison Square Garden was 10 miles away from where the Trump people were.
It was still Madison Square Garden. They just rebuilt it and it's not in the same location.
Yeah, rebuilt it in a new location. So all of the ghosts of all of those Nazis are 10 miles away down the road. What the heck? They turned that into a dump.
Mm-hmm.
Look, Jonathan, I can't stand Jonathan Capar and the fact that this guy just told him off to his face. He said basically, look, and Jonathan Capar caught it because he said, look, I don't want to be lectured by you about how I'm a liar.
Mm-hmm.
Well, someone needs to lecture you, K-Par.
Well,
have you watched
I mean,
any of his stuff?
I think not really, but no, I mean, I think K-Par. Again, I don't know the facts of the case here. If Hugh Hewitt, that's the guy's name, right, is correct, then obviously, well, even if he's not correct, the whole like, how dare you lecture me about the news when you said things that I thought were wrong? Like that's like a very lame way to interact with the conversation. It's a just total ad hominem. Like, because what you do, because that's a total ad hominem and a whataboutism. It's nothing to do with the actual claim. He should just stick to what is the truth of the claim being made, right? Not attack his character or something of that nature.
The whole look, this changes the entire story. They begin the story with Donald Trump is trying to gas up his supporters to believe the election is stolen, when Donald Trump is more likely gloating about the fact that they won this case and there was some election fraud that they caught. But look, but Jonathan Capehart doesn't want to frame it that way. Donald Trump wins lawsuit. There was election fraud. Like, so he's got to frame it in this completely dishonest way. And once the guy once they get to him, he's like, dude, what the fuck? Yeah. I mean, look, obviously, Sitch is like, oh my God, is this true? I have to look into it.
I don't know what the facts of the case are, but obviously, even if Hugh is wrong, the guy, the K-Par is completely, I would say, out of line. You should just say, well, no, you're wrong for a fact reason, not just attack his character. I think that's completely ridiculous.
Well, there's 2 minutes left. Let's see.
We'll see what happens.
Let's do some little investigative journalism here.
Okay.
See what they have to say. But look, you agree if the guy stormed off, it was justified because the framing of this was completely dishonest.
Sure, it's justified that he can storm off. I think I would, like, if I was there, instead, I would have just really called out K-Par for just being a dishonest piece of shit at that moment instead of storming off.
Yeah.
I'd been like, wait a minute. I just made a fact claim that is true that you were denying here on your network, and your response is to throw a personal insult at me with a whataboutism. Are you a journalist, or are you just a paid, pundit for the Harris campaign, right?
Oh my God, that would have been so good.
But here, let's watch the rest of this clip. Yeah.
3, 2, 1, go.
Put it on the screen. You wrote, "You want to know the stakes of this election? Not only democracy, but decency." Talk more about that, Ruth.
Okay, I'm collecting myself.
What happened?
Oh, Ruth froze. Ruth is frozen. So hang in there, everyone. We're going to see if we can try to get Ruth back to this very. We're going to get Ruth back in a moment. This is First Look, Washington Post Live's nonstop shop for news and analysis, and Ruth is back. So I'm going to read that quote back again from your column, Ruth, where you wrote, "You want to know the stakes of this election? Not only democracy, but decency." Okay, we lost her again. Everybody, if you've been watching First Look, you know that these conversations can be interesting, contentious. You just saw Hugh Hewitt leave the conversation, which is lamentable, unfortunate. It is what it is. I am Jonathan Capehart. I want to thank you all very much for joining us on First Look. For more of these important conversations, please sign up for a Washington Post subscription. You can get a free trial by going to washingtonpost.com/live. Again, washingtonpost.com/live. I'm Jonathan Capehart. Thank you for watching Washington Post Live's First Look.
Ooh, we learned nothing about it, so hopefully you were busily Googling.
I did like that when it cut back, like when they were trying to get the woman back, and it cuts back, you just see his empty chair.
She's gone. I know. The chair stream.
The chair stream. That's good.
Sweet.
Look at that. He left and he cursed the broadcast for technical difficulties. So
he did, and they deserved it. They totally deserved it.
Interesting. Well, That was fun. Zerg, whoops, did the thing. Zerg 1337 for 2 Aussie bucks says she's on a pilgrimage, Sitch. Listen, you can be on a pilgrimage and still be fashionable, Zerg. Okay, you can be fashionable on a pilgrimage. You don't have to wear some ugly yellow raincoat. All right.
You shouldn't.
Okay.
Wear something
Drewski
cool.
for $5 says, "Did you guys see Anna Kasparian trashing the Jones Act a couple days ago in reference to Puerto Rico?
No
I'd love to
way.
see this kind of bipartisan support." Yeah, I think someone else chatted us about it the other day. Yeah, I did see it.
That's great.
Super based. At least with the not allowing shipping intercoastal. That's the ridiculous part of the Jones Act. So
maybe they'll get it fixed up.
BW85 for $2 says, "You've convinced me. Got a book, free will included." Yes, free will. 100%, 100 units of free will are included free with every purchase of the book. Okay.
Yes.
Zerg for 5 Aussie bucks says he will undo some woke stuff, aka racial laws attacking white men. There you go. David Kane for 26 months. Thanks so much. K for 26 months says, "A-Team Rage Supreme." Look at that.
I love it.
Adam, you've been on point the last few weeks. TDS Sitch doesn't know nothing. I kid. Sitch is okay too. Well, thank you. The Electoral College, O'Brien for $5 says, "The Electoral College is there as a check to the majority will, and the way it serves its purpose is to put more weight on swing states." There you go.
Right.
My BFF Shotgun, thank you so much for joining the Free Will Seekers. There it is. Anyways, thank you guys for coming. Thank you all for your incredibly generous donations. And I guess we'll see you on Sunday.
No, 1 second. Let's update the campaign here.
Oh, nice.
We got up to 75, 260. So
nice. Look at that.
I think we got an extra 20 backers. So 20 of you backed the campaign, got the comic book. Thank you so much. That's awesome. And yeah, that's it.
All right. See you guys Sunday.
Take care. Bye-bye.